Alrighty, hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. This one's probably going to be, I don't know, maybe a little bit shorter than normal. We'll see how it ends up. I just have a meeting later tonight, and but that's like way later tonight, so it's just something else I gotta think about. But I did want to get a little bit of streaming in before then, probably through reset stuff, right? Generally, we'll see. We'll see how today goes. There's quite a few things I actually want to do today. A lot kind of along the lines of just recording some stuff for information purposes. I have a long list of things that people have actually asked me to make videos about, and I actually think that'll help increase overall gameplay for most people, so there's some value in doing that and making people a little bit happier. So we might do that first just to get it out of the way, and then we'll just be here to help answer questions and stuff. I also, I want to take a little bit of time to, if we get a bigger audience, right, because of like the drops or whatever, I'm going to take the opportunity to kind of poll the audience for some things that maybe we can give over to Game-A-Go from a perspective of making money. So maybe that'll actually get passed because of that. So for example, let's get everything to load up here. So for example, whenever I do like feedback posts or suggestions, and usually if those suggestions have some non-zero development effort, you'll notice that the suggestions that I put on the forums are designed to be very simple and using kind of current mechanics so that, you know, if it's like a feedback suggestion or something of that sort that requires development effort, there's not that much effort that needs to be put in it from the Excel side. And I try to design things so that if there is a suggestion, it actually benefits every region. Because of that, those suggestions are not only taken more seriously by Excel, but in a lot of different cases were actually accepted and done. And a lot of the things you see around arenas and some other things are because of those sorts of efforts. Because we've shown that, hey, this is something that we want and it'll benefit everybody. Now, when I make a suggestion to Game-A-Go about publishing things, I have to make sure that because the publishing team doesn't understand any of these suggestions, I have to make sure that when I suggest something to Game-A-Go that requires their effort, it has to make the publishing team understand that it's a monetary gain. For example, I actually just sent a PM yesterday over to Archeage with a bunch of feedback from an event that's currently ongoing that nobody knows about, or that a lot of people don't know about, which is this it's this 20-year Game-A-Go thing, where if more people buy these little packages for the 20th anniversary, then there's like a tier system with up to 4 tiers that progresses more and more as people buy the packages. If you guys don't know about this, it's because it's extremely hidden inside of an article that you're probably not even, like, it's from like 3 weeks ago, and most people have completely forgot about it, except, yeah, you might have read it, you might have thought about it at one point, except it's actually one of their most powerful marketing things they've ever done. And I am not kidding, okay? Because every tier, a bunch of rewards unlock for every player in the game. Which means that if we actually do get to tier 1, which we're not even halfway through to that yet, but if we ever do actually reach 100% of tier 1, every player in the game gets a whole bunch of stuff, okay? And then each tier gives more things. It's actually an extremely powerful way to make money because you are encouraging whales to buy things that affect everybody, right? And it's just cosmetic stuff in those packages, which is really kind of good. But there was no advertising behind it. So, like, it kind of, there's a few failures there that have made it so that this is not progressing very well whatsoever. And so I did send in a suggestion about different things. On that list of suggestions, of course, with almost everything that I write in, is another reason for the wiki. But now I phrased it in a way that the marketing team, or the production team, I should say, right? It's production technically. That the production team can look at it and say, oh, you're right, we do need a wiki. What I said was, bring the wiki back, and every time you log in, have it open up to the wiki, right? The wiki on the main page should have news, sales, and events that are going on. And that should generally increase the potential marketable audience by like 5 or 6 times, because you don't need Discord or social media. You capture everyone playing the game. Seriously though, if this doesn't convince the team that the wiki is good for everybody, not just the players, but for the, you know, for the production team and for, you know, everybody understanding what's going on, I really don't know what will, because I can't believe we still don't have a wiki when we had one at one point, you know, in the past. So anyways, now I have to phrase things in a way that'll hopefully get them, you know, the production team's attention, which probably won't go through anyways, right? Let's be honest here. But I have to try, right? I have to still do my part. Because nobody else is, and clearly the production team has no idea what the hell is going on, so, you know, I may as well do a little bit here and there, right? So, as a part of that, and those feedbacks, suggestions, things, I kind of want to poll the audience. So if we get a bunch of people watching later, then maybe we can get some more suggestions for some things. But, yeah, otherwise, kind of an unscheduled day today. I did want to just record some stuff. To have like as highlights, so I may as well do it while streaming, just hang out with you guys, right, at the same time. Let me see, what's on my list here? I have a list of all these things people wanted. Oh, I actually don't have this information. I used to talk about I think I actually mentioned this yesterday, but we need to talk about the auction house search functionality, because there's actually a lot of little things you could do there when you're searching for like wildcard characters and such. So that's something I did want to talk about. I want to talk about... I might put that off until another time, though, because I don't have everything that I need for it, and I know that there's actually a page for it somewhere. Today, I definitely want to talk about UI setup and suggestions for UI setup, as well as talking about the options in-game. So, like, literally the options menu that's in-game. I was kind of talking with different people yesterday, and... it is funny because, you know, a lot of people probably have not actually enabled different things that'll make their life a lot better. It's something as simple as, like, you know, enabling health bars, or health stats, rather, on top of names. Simple things like that help tremendously, but I think a lot of people don't even realize that's a thing. You know, so I think there's actually worth going over some of these options for gameplay sort of quality of life, right? So we'll do that. We'll do that as well. And I do want to talk a little bit about UI suggestions and brainstorming, but I actually don't know what to do for that. You know, you see a lot of players who've played for years do what I do. They put their health bars at the bottom, because having to glance all the way to the top left of your screen isn't really that great, right? You don't get information right there in front of you, so putting things kind of center helps. You'll actually notice that whenever I'm in a raid or whenever I'm in a party, all of the raid and party options are right here. They're not all the way to the left. I've moved them somewhat center so that I could also very quickly click on somebody if I need to, and maybe shadow step to a healer or whatever, right? It's a little bit easier. And so I'll talk a little bit about that. I'll just kind of go over what I said just now, but I don't know what else I want to mention with UI setup, other than like, oh, make sure to get your combat logs up, and, you know, make sure to enable your shortcut bars and hotkey stuff, and, you know, we've kind of already talked about hotkeys in the past, so, you know, we still have those videos to look at, right? So we'll record a little bit of stuff today during the stream. Otherwise, I think I'm just going to do a little bit of farming. I have a couple pets that I want to get to level 55, and since it's double XP right now, I may as well just get that over with and help answer questions in chat. You guys can get all of your drops, you know, while we're just chilling here. Maybe you'll pick up some cool new information at the same time. Here's drops information for anybody that's in Twitch right now and is looking for where to claim inventory and stuff, and all those things. There's some info there. It's the exclamation mark drops will bring that up. But I think most people have kind of claimed it already, right? I think, honestly, most people have already really sat through and watched, you know, the like 12 hours they needed to get everything from the Twitch drops system, which kind of sucks, because the whole point of drops is generally, they did it weird. They essentially made people farm it instead of, you can just, you know, watch and get stuff over time forever, right? Like, instead of just like, oh, every hour a few people from chat get picked and they get some extra stuff, they made it so that everybody can get the rewards based on time watched, which most people just AFK anyways, so I don't like that. I should give him my feedback for that as well. I guess maybe this is the marketing team that handles this stuff? I don't know. So maybe they'll take it a little bit more seriously. I have no idea, to be honest. But it'd be nice to like just have the system forever and not just make it so like, oh, I grinded out my 12 hours, I'm done, I don't have to do it anymore, right? That kind of sucks. That doesn't make anybody, like, it doesn't really help, right? It doesn't really help advertise if people are just AFKing the whole time anyways. Oh, hold on, I got actually an important message. Give me 1 second. Damn. Okay. Oh, maybe I've got a little bit more time today. Looks like my meeting was canceled. Okay. No big deal. Cool. I don't have to rush for that then. Alright. Sentiv's still curious if it will increase the Twitch activity of Archeage after this month. Nah. I don't think so. I mean, I'm sure there... Actually, to be honest, I hope it does, because there's some really, really awesome streamers that have, you know, started popping up and are just, you know, helping people out or just being around, and having more content is good. So I hope so. But the realist in me says, nah, probably not, right? The realist in me says this is all just a sham. People all just want to get the thing and then they're done, right? But I hope that to some degree, I'm sure to some non-zero degree, it'll help increase overall activity. Now, what's really funny, and I mentioned this on the R&D Discord today, but you can definitely see the population differences between Archeage Legacy and Archeage Unchained, because in the last 2 days, the difference between how many people are watching Drops and Abel's streamed is massive. And a lot of the people who are in the Archeage streams, the Archeage Legacy streams, they don't even know yet that actually if you're like a Legacy, or if you're an Unchained player, you have to be watching Unchained streams. And I've been trying to let people know, hey, make sure you're watching the correct streams, make sure you're, you know, streaming under the correct categories, because people don't know that, right? And a lot of, like, I don't mean, like, I'd say about 50% to 75% of people have fallen for this, right? Or watching the wrong stream or something, and then they're like, oh, damn, I need to go and watch Unchained streams. And that's fine. It's like everybody's falling for it, because it's a new system, and it was not explained correctly, right? I get it. So, again, the disparity between Legacy... And also, to be fair, Legacy already has the C-Bug, or a lot of people do, so maybe Legacy servers don't care as much for this, but, you know, they want an emote, right? A free emote, why not? Can the bug do something? Yeah, it's actually really good, Envy. Like, it's... Let me put it this way, let's go to the water, right? So this is a bug that, you know, has the regular run, it cannot have equipment on, it's 11.5 base movement speed, but it also jumps. And the jump is really important because in the water, this works really, really, really well. And it can make you go extremely far, very quickly. Not as quickly as my mount swapping, but most people don't mount swap, right? So generally in the water, the C-Bug is extremely powerful. It also has a third ability, which just makes it play a song. The Song of Its People. That one's not as useful because it's just a song of its people. But the jump is really good because every 2 seconds in the water, you can go ahead and boost yourself a little bit forward. It's kind of nice. This is what makes the C-Bug extremely good. In the water, it's very, very nice for just a constant little way to get from point A to point B very quickly. Now, again, it is never going to be as fast as mount swapping, but most people do not do this, right? Most people are not mount swapping the way that I am, switching between 4 different mounts to use every single ability one after another. You have everything keybound, the way that I'm doing it right now. Wait, why can't... Oh, it has no mana. Crap. I need to get this mount mana. Alright, hold on. Okay, pretend that worked right away, okay? Anyways, most people don't mount swap, right? I do, because I've done it for years, and it's become like second nature to me. But anyways, if you don't want to mount swap, or you don't have 2 Leomorphs that are, you know, 1 Gallant and 1 Knots or whatever, the C-Bug is nice because it's still a pretty damn good movement speed bonus, right? So it's cool. Actually, I really like the C-Bug. It's just cute and awesome at the same time, and it's really funny looking when it's running very quickly on the ground, especially with Songcraft buffs on, like Battle Hymn and, gosh, what? Why is the name of the speed one? It's okay. Let me look it up. I don't remember the name of it now. Ah, yes, Quick Step. There we go. With both of those running, it's extremely funny when it's just running very quickly. It's like the Starfish. If you guys haven't seen the Starfish mount, which is the one that you get from Curios badges, it's like, it is hilarious the way that that thing runs at high speeds. It's so funny, man. Oh my god, I love the starfish. But anyways, this one's really nice because it always has this, 2-second cooldown little jump that it does. It's very quick. And it's just funny looking, so, who doesn't love a little sea bug that you can just ride on like this? I love it, dude. Look, it's actually really cool. I'm glad they did it the way that they did, honestly. The Twitch drops, if they were going to have to do it the way they did, I'm glad they put like a sea bug mount in there, because that's good. That's actually really nice. I just want them to put these kind of things in diligence or something, or have other ways to access it after this is done, because otherwise people are going to have the fear of missing out, right? Which is a very negative thing that I wish that wasn't in video games as much as it is. Alright, so let me do one more thing here. Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, I guess we can record a couple things, right? Why don't we do one of these first? Let's do the options menu. And I guess as a part of it, maybe I'll do UI just a little bit. Options and UI. I'll just kind of merge them together and make that into one little highlight. And I don't rehearse any of this stuff. If I screw something up or if there's something that I miss, you guys could just let me know in chat, and then I'll talk about it right away, okay? But I want to make like a little short video about different things in the options menu that are really, really nice. And again, I'm going over things from like a PvP, PvE aspect, but I might forget something or not think about something. And so again, feel free to bring things up like during this highlight. I don't care, It's nice to have audience interaction during a recorded little piece that I do during a live stream. Alright, so we'll go ahead and get started here. Alright, I want to talk about options and the options menu and the different things that you can get out of it in your like day-to-day life. There's a lot of quality of life things in the options menu that I think a lot of people just kind of glance over or miss or don't actually mess around with. And so I just want to go over a few of those things in kind of a quicker sort of video. We'll see how it actually ends up. And I'll also talk a little bit about UI, I think, in this video as well. So again, there's the regular normal options that you guys see. There's some things that I talked about in other videos as well. I'm going to try not to overlap it too much. The things I want to talk about today have to do with the game settings specifically. I know like camera mode and things are very interesting, and you should definitely play around with them. And there's some other things that I'm probably going to skip over. But today I want to focus at least on the game settings here, as well as like maybe a little bit of the key bindings that you can do. So there's tons of things you can do for quality of life to help you, okay? Now, I'll just go, top to bottom here. So name info is a big one, all right? And I don't actually unset any of these, but during combat, especially in PvP, there's a lot of different names all over the place, and depending on how you actually have your name settings, which you can change up here or change by, I think, pressing Control V? No, that's not it. I've unbound those. But if you change these things at the top, it'll change what the names above people look like, okay? So now it says my faction underneath instead of my guild. If I go back, I can change it to vocation, which is family name underneath the guild. And here's the one that most people use. Yeah, Control V is default. I've changed it to something else. So this is the one that most people use, is the box, right? This is nice in a raid versus raid because you can very quickly, at a glance, see health bars. Whereas the other versions, the one that I like generally, don't have that sort of thing. Now, in addition to all of this, you can actually unset names from appearing at all, which means in PvP, if you don't want to see your summons up, or you don't want to see enemy summons up, I think it's this one, right? Friendly summons, enemy summons. That way, if there's pets out, you actually don't see their name, and you won't get confused with them, right? You'll actually make sure you're still clicking on enemy targets. So this is something you can actually do for yourself to make things a little bit easier to see in combat. And, usually you would do something like this for PvP, that sort of thing, right? You can also change what actually shows right underneath your name by, I believe, the basic section or something. Most people just generally pick either guild name or faction name, depending on what they're doing, right? Okay, so that's kind of it for name information. Game information is a lot more exciting. So let me just set my options there. All right, game information is a lot of stuff, okay? And like by default, this is what it looks like. It looks like this and this. This is what it looks like by default, something like that, okay? Which I think it's like this. This is the default menu, okay? Now, anytime I start up a new character, you'll notice the first thing I do is I log in and I immediately check mark everything, because this is actually a really, really important thing, okay? If you go by default here, I'm going to close tutorial and then do this. If I go by default here, this is nice, but you don't really get too much information, okay? You're kind of stuck without a lot of info. You won't have anything in your combat log. This is something we talked about in the combat log video. You can look at that highlight. So what I do is I'll just kind of go through the list here, right? Health stats and mana stats. They just show up in everybody's bar. You can see it at a glance. And now, thanks to 7.0, you get a percentage there. If you're fighting a world boss and you don't have this on, you're going to be extremely confused by all the numbers that are just... or not the numbers, the colors that are being flown across the screen. You know, not across the screen, but across... It's just... Look, you know what I'm talking about, man. World bosses right now are weird and confusing, all right? Make sure that you have health stats shown. That way you can actually understand what the heck is going on. Maybe you don't need mana, but at least having, you know, health stats up is really, really important. There's a couple other things too. Showing the target's cast bar is good because you'll know what actually, you know, what the target is actually casting. Showing the target of a target's cast bar, I don't even think works. I might be wrong on that, I never really notice it, but if your target is targeting somebody else that's casting something, then you should be able to see actually, you know, right there what they're doing. That's just some more information that can exist, and it's just a little checkbox you can click to get it. Go back to here. Show buff duration actually just shows you visually on buff bars or debuff bars, kind of like, is there a minute left or something of that sort. If there's like 30 seconds left, it'll count down. I think that's on by default, and generally it's a lot better. Now these here are really good for information overall. Show combat effect and tooltips, and show, or combo effects and tooltips, and damage breakdown is really, really important. If I hover over right now, you actually see there is literally no combos for anything shown because I've unchecked it. And I think it is checked by default. So make sure that you have that so that you get more information about how combos work between different abilities. And damage breakdown is really good too, because right now you'll see that, oh, it says I have 20-24 melee damage on a Blade Flurry. But if you actually have it checked, you'll see why it is 20-24. And you'll see that here it's 0 coefficient, just base amount of damage plus 124% of my melee attack. So it tells you a little bit more about how this stuff is calculated. Again, it's more information when you're looking through different things, making a build, and trying to understand the game, as well as, like, you know, how combos and debuffs and stuff work. And now you'll see that I also have combos listed there at the bottom of each skill. And again, that's because I had this thing checked, this guy. I don't actually know what item creation details are. I believe that's just who made an item. It shows their name at the bottom. I mean, whatever, it's extra information, right? And then this interaction tooltip location, I don't think has ever worked for me. Where, you know, you can hover over something and it shows something near the cursor there. It says Prosperous Nuian Base, versus showing at the bottom right of the screen, which, oh, it does work, huh? I think a long time ago it didn't work, so now it shows on the bottom right of my screen that I'm hovering over. I don't know, this is up to you, but generally I keep it right near the cursor so that I can see better, but anyways, so that's a thing. There's a tutorial you can open and close whenever. There's insufficient bag space alert, just to let you know once you're close to filling up the bag. There's show chat bubbles, which if you're a streamer you might not want open because people can run in and say some bad things. And then there's view frame rate, which I use because I like to see my frame rate. Down here we have a lot of those things from the combat log, so I always keep it on all, I keep the distance at highest, and I like to see all my quests on the entire map, which is what Unlimited does. When I turn this on, you'll see that I'll have quests all over the map, and I can see it globally as well. I just go over to Gwynedd Forest, I can see all the quests that are there too. So these are things that I talked about in a different video too. So I'm not going to go over them too much right now, but you can definitely go check out the combat log video if you have not set up your own combat log, which is like literally one of the most powerful learning tools in the game, and you also get to use it just for anything. It's not just a learning tool, you get to actually see what happens, you know, in real time in combat. Show combo skills is a new thing, kind of. It's like, I think a 6.5 or 6.0 thing, where you can actually display or choose to display what combos appear on your quick bar, and they glow when you have a combo available. So I So, for example, if I stealth... Oh, this doesn't work now. They broke it because now they put the combos or like the buffs inside of this box, and now they don't show that you can do a combo. Whatever. Anyways, this is some stuff that you can look at. There's some descriptions on how this works, and generally it's pretty helpful to have enabled, so I have it on myself. Functionality... Okay, so this is where things get a little bit more technical, at least this top part here. This bottom part isn't that useful. So in combat, there's a lot of different ways to move around, to deploy skills, to deploy a glider, to dash. All of the stuff is adjusted here, and this is going to be based on your own personal play style, okay? Click to move and auto move to skill range is actually something that I think most people don't enable, and what it does is when you click somewhere, your character will move there, okay? It's a little weird because if you accidentally left click on the wrong target, you'll just start moving to that location, so it's like, oh, I want to target this bodyguard, but oh, I just missed it a little bit. It's a little bit confusing and annoying. The nice part is, however, is if you actually want to use an ability, and you can't, because you're out of range, your character will automatically walk to that range first before using the ability. Again, most people don't use this, but it is an option that's available in-game. You can mess around with it if you want. Key tap skill trigger. Actually, I don't know what that does. Key tap skill trigger. I think that just means that you can push a button and the skill will go off right away. No, everything feels... Oh, why am I auto moving? I actually have no idea what that does. It's not something that I think about because it's already automatically on when you start the game. Like, start up the game for the first time. Anyways, so there's a couple other things here that are really nice. Auto select target when using skills. If you use an offensive skill, it'll just pick the nearest target if you have none selected and use it against them. Very, very good if you're just trying to, like, you know, somebody tries to gank you and you just really need to frantically push a button to, like, CC them or something. You can do this right away and it'll just select them automatically. Just be careful not to select the wrong target because it'll go with whatever target is closest to you. Skill deployment location is nice because what this essentially does, if you have it enabled, you can... So the way it works is if you have a skill bound to a key, like I have blink on tab, what it normally does is when you have it disabled, you have to push the skill once for it to appear on the location, and you push the skill again, or you press left click to target and designate that location, okay? So right now I push tab, and then I can push tab again to pick the location, or I can left click to go and teleport there. However, if you have this enabled, wherever your mouse is, whenever you push that button, it'll just immediately pop it off. So if I'm within range, so let's say I'm not within range, right? Let's say I'm hovering my mouse over next to this wall. It'll tell me that the target is too far, right? But if I bring it closer and I push the button, without having to actually finish designating, one button press is one action right away, and it's much quicker to get things off. You just have to make sure that your mouse is actually selected over the place where you want it to actually go, right? God's Whip is nice with this because you can just hover over, you know, where you want the God's Whip to hit, and it'll just, you know, you're just spamming the button to make it happen very, very quickly. But again, something that a lot of people might have missed. These two are kind of self-explanatory. Double tap to dash. If you're double tapping W, you dash. That's what that is. Double tap for glider. Again, if you have, you know, jump on space like most people tend to have, double tapping space will make your glider come out. Just whatever glider is equipped on your character. If you have none, then it won't work. I have this off actually because I use all of my gliders with hotkeys, right? And I do this myself. I don't want to accidentally use my glider at any point in time, so I make sure that I do it a little bit more efficiently that way. Auto-align for plants and livestock, auto-align for furniture items. This is new stuff, kind of, as of, I think, like 5.5 or something before 6.0, that just lets you more efficiently place, you know, like plants and livestock and all the things in your farms, and placing furniture as well. So these are just options you can use for your personal planting and cosmetic needs, right? There's some other stuff here too. Low health warning, which makes like the heartbeat come up when you're at low health and the side of the screen turns red. You've got camera shake effects you can turn off. The quest direction arrows that, you know, they kind of appear under your character if you have a bunch of quests selected. Always show the auto loot window. Some people have this on just so they see it visually on their screen. I tend to have it off because it's annoying. And this is a big one that a lot of people also don't know. If there's some jerk that's trying to push people through their portals, which is very easy to do. And you don't want to bait yourself into doing it. You can always disable travel through other players' portals so that somebody doesn't accidentally throw you through their portal. I usually turn this on if somebody's actively going around with like a farm cart pushing people into a portal. I'll just turn it on and then go AFK if I need to or whatever. But usually I have it off, obviously, because I don't want to have to go to the options to turn it on and off every single time I need it, right? Usually I go through other players' portals anyways, but it's something that exists. You can also hide that optimization button so you don't accidentally click it. If you ever like are in combat and you don't want to accidentally push it and have everything lag, you can just disable it like I do. And then default player appearance is something that actually a lot of players do in PvP. When there's tons and tons of numbers and you don't want to lag as much, default player appearances makes everybody look the same. Okay, it doesn't load any more costumes or anything. Allies look like this. Enemies look with like a red armor. Neutral, I guess, would also be blue. Actually, I don't know what neutral looks like. Probably blue. I don't know. I have no idea. But it makes everybody look the same with terms of like textures, right? Textures and models are all very basic. What's kind of nice is that while you have this up, where is it? Functionality. While you have this up, you can actually change the maximum number of displayed players up to 200. It's the only way you can do that. If you turn that off, 100 is the maximum there. So that's something you can also do to be a little bit more efficient in like Halcyona or just big fights or whatever, where you need to see more than 100 players. You can actually do that, and it helps a little bit. I tend to just have it, off all the time because I still understand who people are visually too. So it's a personal preference, but sometimes I'll change it up to default appearances if I need to see 200 people at a time, right? There's also all these auto declines if somebody's spamming duels, or if somebody's spamming trays, or jury invites you're bored of. You can turn all those off and on. There's ignoring whispers if you don't want to have to deal with somebody spamming you for a little while, and there's a disable chat filter as well, which I believe is automatically disabled, so you have to check it when you log in if you want to hear people swearing. Other than that... Oh yeah, and then there's of course the shortcut bars that I think most people... I hope most people use all of them. You can use all of these shortcut bars, you can enable them here. Eventually we'll have a 5th shortcut bar too. And you can set all the shortcut bars here in terms of hotkeys. So all that stuff is done through the hotkeys section. Now we've talked about hotkeys in the past, so that's a totally different video. I'm not going to go into that right now. You can always go check those out. They're on, like somewhere in my YouTube like playlists. There's all of these like guides, videos, and highlights videos. Everything is kind of under there, so you can take a look at those. I think for the most part that covers this. I want to talk a little bit more about UI setup. I know Epic, I can see you talking there. I know the Arc Pass thing was a big deal that happened lately, but I still want to put out information to help people have fun and enjoy the game more. So that's what I do, right? I have fun with other people have fun too. So the last thing I want to talk about is just kind of UI setup. I'm not going to talk too much about this because this is super personal preference, okay? But the default UI has like health bars in the top left of your screen and the top of your screen for enemies. You have like, the quick bars are all like kind of on top of each other. So you can press shift click to move stuff around on your screen, shift and left click to move things. We actually have this new bar with the buffs on it. You can actually move it. You just have to shift left click like slightly over it, and then you can move it to wherever you want, right? And same thing for other health bars and things. You can just move them around however you will with shift left click, okay? A lot of people that you've seen kind of like at streaming and such that have played for years, you'll notice that a lot of the UI elements are kind of centered around the middle of the screen. And this is because you don't want to have to look all the way to the top left of your screen to see your health, or debuffs, or buffs, or whatever, right? It's a little bit too far away for your eyes to have to move back and forth. And even me, I have my raid and party over here, kind of in the middle area of my screen, because I want to more quickly move my mouse to, click somebody specific or to see what's going on. It just helps with efficiency with, like, your eyes moving different parts of the screen, or your mouse moving to different parts of the screen as well. So I like to sort of put everything sort of in the center here. And since my quick bar is down here at the bottom middle, I like to put the health bars there too, so that when I'm looking in battle, all of my information is down all in the same place, right? Combat log is here, so I can see combat log. I have chat here. I have all the quick bars and things. I have all the health bars of everything. Even like when I go and glide, I have this right here, which I think is like the default location anyways, but I kind of move around sometimes. Everything is down in one spot, and it helps, like, if I'm trying to get some information, I can get it all at a glance, and I can even see things out of the corner of my eye. If I'm looking at health bar, I can see my skills and what's on cooldowns and such. Or if I'm looking at the enemy's health or their buffs or debuffs, I can see my own as well. So center things, if you make things easier for yourself to play so that you can do things faster naturally. I think that's mostly what I wanted to go over with UI anyways. There's some other things too. You can change like the size of your map. Mine tends to be on the medium. It's all personal preference. I play in 4K resolution, so all of my UI elements are a little bit tinier than it looks for most people. So you may have to adjust your screen, a little bit different based on your own preferences, but know that these options exist and that you can actually mess around with them. Also that there's some elements on your screen you cannot change the location of, such as the location of the map. And then one more thing is you could actually lock windows. Lock these particular chat boxes. So after you've kind of finished moving them to wherever you want, you can lock it so that you cannot move them by accident. So that's something else you can do to sort of help you out. You just right-click here, you can lock them. And I think if you lock it, it should work for everything. Maybe not. Yeah, I guess not. Yeah, you kind of have to lock each individual one to make that work. Right? Yeah. Okay, now I have to make sure to everything's locked on mine. Yeah, alright, they are. All good. I think that's it. That's kind of it's probably, this whole video kind of ran a little bit longer than I thought that it would, but hopefully a little bit helpful for you in your customization. So yeah, thanks everybody. Alright, that one's done. Cool. Did you learn something epic? Anything new? Now that you popped into the stream? You kind of came into the sort of at the end of that particular recording that I wanted to make. But we were talking about that yesterday, right? That there's a lot of things that a lot of folks are not aware of. It's like super, super simple things that a lot of people just kind of glance over and don't use. So I went over most of it, I hope, today. I probably missed something, but at least it gives people the idea that maybe there's something else they could go and investigate themselves. And they start, looking at things themselves and exploring new options without me having to tell them that it exists. So that goes over UI setup and options in-game. I'm not going to talk about the AH search functionality because I don't have that readily available in front of me. There's actually a bunch of stuff with the auction house. There's a lot of different ways you can search with it, like you can see all the items by pushing this button and having this, I don't even know what it's called, this bar that's above your enter button, shift plus that button, and you can search all items for a category that exists, right? You can see all the weapons, or you can see all the items in general. You can sort by time left, so you can see everything that you can just kind of bid on last second if you want, right? So there's a lot of things. I want to do that some other time when I have everything in front of me, because there's a bunch of wildcard characters that are pretty good. I do play in Pepper White, that's right. Incentive. Wish there was an option to hide the server-wide message when somebody successfully regrades something. You can't, yeah. I was going to say you can from trade chat, because trade chat, technically, I think that's a, I don't know, there's some button here for that. I don't remember what it is, to be honest. I think it's this. I think if you have this one checked, believe it or not, it'll show you these things in chat. But you can't uncheck it, right? If you have both self and party members up, it auto-checks it. It's a really, really weird and buggy system for their... It's like all over the place. There's a bunch of issues like that. Yeah, the on-screen stuff I wish we could block too, because I don't care about it, honestly. I'll see it in my trade chat, and it does block the view in many cases, right? It's kind of annoying. But yeah, that's not a thing, unfortunately. I wish it was. Alright, sorry, I just got another message I need to look at. All good. What else did I want to do? There was something else that I wanted to go over. No, I think that was it. That's all that I had written down anyways, just the AH search functionality. We'll do that some other time. At least we got one little highlight out of the way. I do hope that helps somebody, because, like, man, I guess so many things that I know after playing for 6 years, and I've known it for 6 years, I don't think about them anymore, right? Like, it's second nature to me. So if somebody says, hey, do you have any suggestions for Archeage? I'm going to be like, I don't know, play the game, right? Because I don't think of it off the top of my head. But there are so many things you learn over the years that it would be nice if you just learned in minute 1, because it helps the overall gameplay quality immensely. And it, makes the game more fun, and you understand what's happening better, and you're asking less questions to people because you can figure out yourself, and there's a good feeling associated with that, right? I wish that the game had that stuff already. Well, I guess, I don't know, having it in the options menu is enough, but most people just kind of ignore it, right? A lot of people just don't look at the options menu or don't investigate what all these different things do, so what can you do, really? Take out pay to win. What? Why are you telling me that? Go spam that elsewhere. I can't do anything about that. I tried my best, Epic. We all know that. But we're not here to do that. We're not here to talk about those things, because we've already had those conversations. It's like talking about the weather, Epic, Everybody's on the same page. It's just a waste of time. Let's talk about things that are more interesting. That's pretty much what it is, right? Why waste our time? Suggestions for Archeage? What? Oh, you mean like, what? What do you mean? What are you talking about? Oh, alright. I don't know what's happening. Alright, let me go farm some mobs. I'll just answer questions today. We'll just chill. We'll have a little bit of a chill day. I forgot to do Mirage Isle yesterday, so it's going to be another week before I get the mermaid bath, but it's not a big deal to me, honestly. It's not like I'm really rushing that anyways. I'll just get it eventually. Western Huron Mountain. We're going to go camp. Is it in war right now? Oh, it is. For 5 minutes. Okay. Oh, suggestions for Archeage. No, I meant like, like a new player comes in and say, do you have any suggestions for how to play Archeage, right? Suggestions for starting out in Archeage. That's what I meant. Not suggestions for the publishers or for the developers. That's a totally different thing. My list of suggestions to the publishers is endless. And now I have to phrase everything in a way that makes it so that the publishers who don't play understand that it's still monetarily good for them to do. Otherwise, what else can I do, right? What do you do as a curse brand against mages? You just do insulating lens and take little damage while they kill you. Yeah, that's kind of why I like Immortalist, because I can steal insulating lens, but you're right. A mage is going to get the first hit on you, right? No matter what. Because they have Chain Lightning and Insulating Lens, and that's it. You're stunned, and they could do whatever they want, right? You can Defiance out of it, but then you don't have Defiance. It sucks. As a curse brand, yeah, it's something that's a little bit tough to play around. However, as a curse brand, you have this thing called Sunder Earth. And you have other options available to you as well. So here's something that I did whenever I knew that my opponent was going to get the first move. Okay, and I can't show this off right now a little bit. Oh, actually, yes I can. I have my Abolisher build. Let's do that. Okay, cool. So the way I would do this, okay, anytime that I know that my opponent is going to get a bunch of burst on me, it's so simple. You run in, you Sunder Earth. In my case, I switch to my alternate weapons, and I sit there. And I let them do whatever the hell they want. Because during this time, right, during the time of me sitting in the Sunder Earth, I have, 30% less damage received, in addition to all of my other defenses, right, here we go. And with personally, I have an alternate set of equipment that I have on a button that soaks up damage, right? It's a Searing Oath main hand and a Radiant Disciple Shield in my offhand, right? Just with more max health on it. That's pretty much what that's for. I switch to it, and then I switch back afterwards. This is actually, I know it's weird, you have to accept damage that's incoming towards you, but sometimes you do, right? In a 1v1 situation, it kind of sucks. In a raid versus raid situation, you can still make use of this, especially if you do expect to take a whole bunch of burst damage at one time. And especially if you have a healer who can, you're essentially making it easier for them to heal you by sitting in this and taking less damage over time, right? Because now they can actually keep up with the damage you're taking. These are very clever little ways that you can actually go and you know, soak up damage and cause everything that mage has to go on cooldown for like 20 to 30 seconds. So then it's like, alright, well, cool, you did all your stuff. You know, I'm sitting in my Sunder Earth. Awesome. Your turn is over. You switch to your main weapons. Now it's my turn, right? And then you do your thing, and you start causing issues for them. So it's a little bit of a clever way to play, just accepting the damage outright, okay? There are some other things you can do as well. Slower players are not going to be able to take advantage of Chain Lightning as much, right? So you can actually Shadow Step and Hell Spear before anything happens. But yeah, generally, you are trying your best to just survive the first hit, right? Exactly, survive the first burst, and then you're all set. You know, then it's your turn, you took a lot less damage, hopefully you can maybe pot after that, and then you kill him, right? It's an absolutely valid way to play. It's just to soak up that damage. Especially if you have like an offhand thing like I do, or a little weapon swap thing that gives you a Searing Oath for a little bit more defenses and receive damage reduction. That's how I played Cursebrand anyways, right? Cursebrand suffers from the fact that it doesn't have very many defensive capabilities. You don't have Aromancy, you don't have defense, you don't have, I mean, you have Defiance, right? That's nice, but if you could save Defiance for later, that's even better, right? So, yeah, Cursebrand kind of suffers to, you have to do your damage really, really quickly, your burst, you have CC so you can guarantee damage, you even have escape mechanisms. However, if somebody does catch you, you're doomed. And so you have to play a little bit in a way where you can expect to get hit, right? You can expect to get hit at certain situations. You can at least tank through some of the damage. And hopefully it gives you a little bit more idea sensitive, and anybody else who also has Sunder Earth accessible, definitely use it to keep yourself alive in certain situations. Anyways, that's how I did Cursebrand. That's how I did Executioner too, right? Executioner, I played that way for a very, very long time. It's like, well, I know my opponent's going to get the first move, or let's say I did my turn, right? I did all of my stuff, and now it's my opponent's turn to do things, like it's a turn-based game. I'll just sit in my Sunder Earth and let him do whatever, right? Alright, it's your turn, do whatever the hell you want, da-da-da-da-da. Alright. You turn around, then it's my turn, right? Let's see. You can only respond to what I say, not what I mean to say. That's fair. Yeah, it's all good. No problem at all, Epic. Want to buy useful things to do with channel points? I don't know. If you guys think of anything, let me know. I can add them to channel points for sure. Alright, let me actually farm some mobs then. Let me get this new bear up to 55. Push-ups? Nah. I don't always have the camera here, so... And, oh god, that would be a ridiculous setup to have to... Yeah, I can't do Choco's thing. It wouldn't work that well. And I can't do pull-ups either, because the door's all the way over there. Oh, well, actually... No, that won't work either. No, that's Choco's thing. I'm not going to steal it from him. I wanted to do the drink water, because that's actually a really good one that everybody should do, right? Posture check, drink water. I don't think... Actually, I might steal those, because those are just healthy ones in general. And so is obviously the workout one, but... Posture check and drink water help everybody, right? It's like AoE help. Everybody around you gets some help just from you pushing those buttons. So actually, I think those are really good, huh? Alright, I might do those. At least posture check. But you guys don't see me. So again, it's like... You know, I don't always have the camera available, so really you're just doing posture check so that everybody in chat gets it. Oh, that's actually a great idea. What am I saying? That's the best thing I could do for you guys. I'm going to add posture check to it. I'm going to do it right now. Hold on. I already like it. Butt pressure? What's that? What do you mean? You just mean sitting all the time? I can convert this actually to a standing desk. But it's not an easy thing to do, so I can't make a channel points thing out of converting to and from a standing desk. Manage rewards. I want to add a new one. Where are my custom... Okay. Add a new custom reward. Okay, we're going to call it posture check. Okay, that's all I need. What's the amount for this? I'll do 2,000. I don't want people... Well... No, it can't be over sending. No, I can't. Okay, 1500. That's fine. Let's see. We're gonna make that red, and the icon is gonna be. Wait, can I not change the icon? Really? Oh, I can't. Oh man, that's weird. Why can't I change the icon? Check out the pre-made icon gallery. Yeah. Oh my god. Alright, whatever. Fine. Create. I'll just deal with that stuff later. I don't want to deal with it right now. Alright, is it there? Do we have posture check? Wait, it's not. Wait, is it? Do you have to refresh for it? I actually have no idea. It says it's there. Oh, it is there. Hey, you don't have to refresh. Nice. Alright, we have posture check now. We're all set. Oh my god. That's a good one. That's a good one because it helps everybody. I don't know. If you guys come up with other things, let me know. Oh, butt pressure. I see. Like, do you mean like... I don't know what you mean. I'm confused. That's okay. 15,000 is like 15 hours. That's like a month because you don't stream that much. Oh, true. But not 15,000, no. Did I say that? I meant 1,500. I don't want to do any, like, really, really big ones. Because for that exact reason, Quack. I don't want to have to be, like... I don't want anybody to be like, oh, man, I just gave some love to Cody and now he puts up 100K for something that's really cool. I don't want to ever do that. So my whole purpose for the channel points is that everything is, like, easy. You could do it during the stream. It should be very common, right? I'm never gonna have anything that you have to save up for like a month for, because I don't really care. Like it should be just something you can interact with. I'm using channel points as an interaction tool, which you guys can use to interact with me better or in unique ways, and I want to keep it that way. So yeah, everything should be pretty small, like below 3,000 points for the most part. I don't know. I think disabling UI is pretty good, right? I think it's a pretty good one, and people have found some. I mean, you yourself have found some pretty unique ways to make me turn off the UI in funny, hilarious moments, and that interaction is great because it creates a fun and interesting, unique environment, right? So I like it. I mean, I wouldn't do it right now because there's not very many interesting things happening, but I like that one particularly because it's like a direct. You know, you're directly affecting the stream itself, which is awesome. Like, that's what I would want. Like, if I'm watching a stream and I could do that, that's so cool. I think that's awesome. The interaction between the community and the streamer is awesome. It's my favorite thing. Someone in Discord said that their teacher used to yell out blood pressure whenever whenever people weren't paying attention. I guess I missed this story if you guys were talking about it before. Butt pressure, aka how you're sitting in the chair, is normally something you don't think about. But when you think about it, it typically makes you uncomfortable. Ah, okay, I never really thought about that, yeah. It doesn't really make me uncomfortable, but I can see where that comes from. Whenever somebody's not paying attention. That's pretty funny. I've never heard of that one before. Nah, we'll keep posture check, it's fine. Everybody knows what a posture check is. That's a pretty common one. What are some other good ones? What are some other channel points we could do? What are some things? How can we interact with the stream better, right? What do we do? The Q&A one, it exists purely for, like, if there's like a bunch of people in chat, like let's say there's 200 people in here, right? And you wanna ask a question that I don't miss, that I definitely won't miss. Using Q&A puts it in a queue. And I can actually then complete it when I know, like I can look at the queue and make sure that everything is out of there, right? So that's why the Q&A one is really nice, because you can guarantee that I'll look at it at some point and answer the question. Whereas, you know, just typing something in chat, I might miss it. Yeah, that's right, don't think about blinking, yeah. No, that stuff never really bothers me too much. Everybody else in chat's like, oh man, no! Breathing, I can't believe it. 600 points is a lot, is it? You get 50 every half hour. That's if you like push a button, right? Oh, you mean for the Q&A thing? For 600? Is it? I think there's also, you get some extra ones for like a streak, essentially. So if you watch the stream like 3 times in a row or something of that sort, you get a bunch of extra bonus points for that. If you're there for a raid at the end of a stream, you get a bunch of extra bonus points for that too. So there's a lot of ways to earn extra points, especially like if you follow a channel, you get a bunch of points too right away. So there is that. Yeah, we can adjust values though if things are a little bit too high. The Q&A one, yeah, if that's a little bit too much, we can bring that down, right? If you're sub to the channel, you get 2 times the points, eh? If you really want to do crazy things with points, it doesn't have to be my channel, but you can sub to anybody's channel and you earn twice as many points just for, you know, being there and doing the regular stuff. Wait, is that true? Is it 2 times? I think it's 2... Oh, no, it depends on the tier of your sub. So technically I'm a tier 3 sub, because it's my channel. That's why it says 2 times. A tier 1 sub, I think it's like, a 50% boost or 25% boost to points. I don't actually know what it is. I don't think I've ever looked at it. Yeah, I'm not even sure, honestly. But I know it's a thing. There's some kind of non-zero amount of gain for doing that. Also, is the Seabug already level 55? Well, they're putting Western Hum into war. Nice. Alright, then we can go around and kill people. Also, it's good because I guess you get the extra loot drop, right? But that's not too bad. Oh, you just mean, like, there isn't that many people asking questions? When people do join and want to ask, they probably aren't going to wait to get enough points. Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point, Epic. Alright. Oh, but you know what? If they follow, they'll get 300 right away. So maybe I should do, like, 400? Maybe 400 makes more sense for that? So as soon as you follow the channel down, you get 300 points. So it encourages, well, you know, I think that works. Yeah, just going down a little bit there. Plus, honestly, the Q&A one should be used a lot. Like, it's actually like a really powerful tool that people can use. That I want people to use. That's the whole point, right? So yeah, let's put it down to 400. I think that would make sense then. Keeping all of the stuff in mind and keeping what you said in mind, because that's absolutely true. So let's do that. I can't refund your points, Sentive, sorry. But that's okay. It's accumulated quickly anyways. You guys are around, so it's not a super big deal. Alright, that's done. What else can I do? You have enough points? Okay, good. What else can I do, though, for channel points? I like posture check, though. That's a cool one. You only have 800. Yeah, that's fair, and you haven't been around too much in the stream. Yep. Yep. That's good. Yeah, that's an important one for anybody to... you can always ask questions, right? Yep. Yeah, there's no cooldown for any of those, so... The point is that it goes to a queue, and actually I want to make sure people know it goes in a queue, so let me look at the description. Ask a game-related question that will appear on a list that for Game Preserver to make sure... Yeah, okay, so yeah, people know when they ask a question through it, there's a queue involved, so that's very good. I've already put that in there, in the description of it. Oh, the Seabug is not level 55. Great. So then I can level these both up. You just want to do... Yeah, that's fine. Perfectly fine. And again, I don't want to do a thing where it's like 10,000 points or something, because then you feel bad because it's like, oh, I spent all my love on Cody. Now I can't spend my points on the thing, right? So I'm not going to do that. I don't want that feel... That's like... You know, that's exactly the kind of crap that you see in a lot of different production teams and marketing companies, where they're like, all right, let's make them spend $5 for this thing, and then we're going to put out something for 40. And it's a negative marketplace experience, and I know this design very well because you see it in Archeage all over the place. Well, I don't do that. I'm going to make sure that when I you know, make a change to the marketplace or to the point system, it's a positive change. You can refund points if you don't mark them as delivered. No, that's not true. Because a lot of all these things aren't really... there's no options that unfortunately I can do for that. I've looked at it already. I think I can reward somebody points. That's a different system. Let me check. I think I just give somebody points. No, that's not true, yeah. Yeah, never mind. There's not really a way for me to give points out. Actually... Is there? No, gift sub. Yeah, I don't know. The custom ones, yes, you can refund them. Really? You can deny the action. I can, yeah. But, wait, didn't... Oh, I see. So, that's weird. It doesn't say anything about giving points back when I deny it. Is that true? Wow. Wait, try it. I want to see. I'm going to reject everything you guys do. I want to see. Just one of you guys do the Q&A one. It should be 400 points now. That's cool, though. Alright, cool. Disable UI. That's an expensive one, but I see. Okay, so yeah, that's why custom ones work. So let me... Okay, oh, it says right here, yeah, reject and refund points back to user. That's awesome. There you go. That's so good. Okay, I wish I knew that before. Great. Got him back. Nice. Very cool. Thanks for letting me know. I hadn't seen that before. It's actually really, really nice. Cool. Alright. Epic, do you want to do Ipnia Sanctuary? I want to do Ipnia Sanctuary. We haven't done it for a while. Oh, are we in war? Oh, we are in war. I don't want to go and pick on new players either, though. I guess Kronz is somewhere around here. It's hard to kill him. He's got the big ol' cloak. Big ol' Aranor cloak. It's hard to deal damage through. Are there any guard raid bosses on win? Boss raids? They're used... I mean, East does, right? West used to, but then that's kind of fallen apart since everybody's up to each other's throats. I mean, I wouldn't say it's a dead game. This, you know, the last few weeks there have not been very positive to the player base, so a lot of folks are quitting, as expected. Yeah, Win West isn't doing very well. We did actually for like 2 months. We were doing actually really, really well, and then bam, everything just like completely flip-flopped. And we've degressed quite a bit. I'm not going to go into those politics because I don't care whatsoever. This stuff is totally irrelevant to me. And so I don't really care about those things. We're not going to discuss them on stream. So no epic. Can't go into it. And delete your messages. I know you want to, but I don't care. Nansan, can't believe you got your... Oh, hey! Hello. I'm guessing that you normally watch the YouTube VODs, huh? Yeah, I stream so randomly. I don't have any schedule with my streams. I just stream whenever I have, find a little bit of extra time. So, and obviously, I'm sorry about that. It's just this isn't my job, so I do things that make me happy. It's all good. I got tons of questions. Yeah, go for it. Absolutely. We can talk about all sorts of things. We're here right now doing that. We're just having conversations about stuff. Just staying as fat good enough for me? Alright. That works. Don't say that, sensitive. No, don't use your channel points for questions if you don't have to. I'm reading, I'm here, I can read everything. We're all good. You don't need to have questions added to a queue. How do you manage mana when farming mobs? Well, as you can see, I don't. I brought up my cooking to a point where I can make my own hearty soup. And so I just use hearty soup mainly if I want to. Otherwise, I sit over here and I use this Monstrous Desire. The Monstrous Desire is something you can get from a GHA drop if you don't know about it. And it just increases your mana regen for like a little bit, right? About 30 seconds. Now, it used to do something else. Now, what it does is it gives mana regen. Mana regen is actually a specific stat and is only earned outside of combat. See, it says right here, while not casting. So you gotta make sure you're not using any abilities, you get some extra mana over some time, right? It's kinda nice. Generally, this is what I do. Yes, when I played Cursebrand, when I played with Battle Rage, I used Frenzy. Frenzy is really nice because what Frenzy does, if you take a look at it, is just the base normal version of Frenzy, and maybe actually the other ones too. But they reduce the cost of Battle Rage abilities by 70%. This is great, because if you're just killing mobs or running through and pressing triple slash, you literally never stop doing that, right? You just go from mob to mob, you triple slash them to death, and they're done. Now, this is a Battle Rage only thing, right? And not to mention that every time you kill a mob, Frenzy increases the duration of the ongoing Frenzy by 20 seconds. So you can pretty much just go from mob to mob, keeping Frenzy up all the time. And if any player finds you doing this during war, you are dead, because Frenzy reduces all of your defenses down to 0. So, but you know, you're being mana efficient, which is actually a very, very important thing when you're going around and farming mobs. What I do generally, like I said, is I'll just step away from combat personally. I'll pop my little Monstrous Desire, and I'll just sit, you know, go get some water. I come back and my mana's back up for the most part, right? Now, Aromancy doesn't have Meditate anymore. Oh, what am I saying? God, I'm thinking of Witchcraft. Oh man, look at me, messing up things from like a million years ago. Yes, so, yeah. So Aromancy Meditate helps a little bit, absolutely. And it also helps decrease the cooldowns of all of your abilities that you've got. So that is exactly the other thing, Epic. So what I used to do in Legacy is I actually had a second set of armor. Okay? A whole second set of armor, just like really crappy, back in the day, Auroria armor. And they all had Spirit on them. And what I would do is I'm out of combat, I pop my Monstrous Desire, I throw on my Spirit set, I literally run down, because I have to run to do this, I run to get water, I run back with my water, because at that point I'm already back at max mana, and that's it. Something that I do today, actually, to get a little bit more mana, is I use this Great Club, this Tier 3 Immortal Warden's Great Club, which gives me 111 Spirit. And when I sit here, you know, waiting for my mana to regen, I just throw the Great Club on, and I get a little bit more mana regen over this period of time. And to show you guys the difference here, where is it? Under Miscellaneous? No, it's under, yeah, under Miscellaneous. So when I have my regular equipment on, that is 67 mana regen. Right? Versus when I put on the Monstrous Desire and then I throw on this Great Club, I get 170. So this helps me regen mana very, very quickly out of combat. And then I just run back in and continue killing things, right? So there's a few things you could do, right? Have a second set of armor, or just have like a weapon that helps with a little bit more spirit. All of those help you become a little bit more efficient with not having to use your mana potions while you're farming, right? Because that's the whole goal of this, is to reduce the cost of doing the regular farming stuff. Lower max mana, pop Monstrous Desire, put on Spirit Gear. Wait, why lower max mana in that particular case? I don't think anything regens you better that way. Oh, I see your point. Yeah. Because when you switch back to the higher max mana, you get the same percentage of mana, which technically makes it so that you are you're being more efficient. Yeah, it's not that. Yeah, it's really hard for me to get lower mana. As a mage, you can, definitely. As a mage, you can totally do that. Or even as a okay, as a mage, you can do that. Yeah. And me, it's like I already have no mana to begin with. There's no way for me to lower my max mana, right? But yes, you're right. And plus, I have no intelligence. This character has literally migrated all of their intelligence out. So I don't have any of that. Oh, actually, I can move a little bit of intelligence to agility for a little bit more focus. I don't care about that, though. It's fine. Yeah, as a mage, you can do that, definitely. What else did I miss? Sentive said, when I use Frenzy instead of mana potting, you're health potting? That's fair, yeah. That's true. It's one or the other, right? I mean, here's another thing you do. Okay, I'll be perfectly honest with you. Just get the little tier 1 pots, the little tier 1 bread and the tier 1 soup, and just use those. They're really cheap. They're like a few silver each from the food merchants. Just get like 200 of those and use those, and just spam them or whatever, right? And you get a little bit more health regen for like a very, very small silver cost. That's a nice way to do it, especially in the early game. That's great. Absolutely wonderful way to get everything up without having to do anything fancy. And same thing with like the food. So even if you're using the frenzy stuff, yeah, you could just, you know, pop on a little cookie, a little cookie thing. You get a little bit more health back. You continue farming, right? Nansan, you said, you know that you love experimenting classes. You want to play as Archer and Melee. So Archery plus Battle Rage. What do you think the third should be? It's tough to do that. So we used to have hybrid classes that worked a little bit better back in the day. And hybrid classes do work a little better right now than they did previously because of 7.0 stat changes. But most people won't do hybrid classes because of the one most important thing in the universe, accuracy. You have to split stats between two different ones to get very, very good accuracy in any particular one of them. And if you're really trying to deal damage out, you want crit damage or you want defense penetration, right? One of those two to help maximize the damage you output. Now, if you are actually splitting archery and melee, you can just go a defense penetration build and be actually pretty good with both. In fact, it is very possible to be an archer melee right now because of the fact that some of those abilities give defense penetration that work very, very well with both. However, having to split your stats between strength and agility is a little bit awkward, right? Now, I just moved 500 strength to stamina. Let's say that I moved 500 strength to agility instead, so that I can do some stuff as an archer. This is okay, but I'm missing out on another very important stat, which is crit rate. I don't have critical rate on ranged abilities. So while I do have everything for melee crit rate, my ranged crit rate is extremely, extremely low, and so I don't get very much value out of the archery abilities. Now let's flip-flop. Let's say that I was an archer looking to do melee abilities for melee damage. You can go archery and battle rage, but you wouldn't be doing it to use battle rage as an attacking damage sort of skill tree. You'd be going battle rage because you just want to use the abilities for extra mobility, maybe some combos for trip to get away, and some other things, maybe to get out of snare, right? You have a snare break there from Bond Breaker, but you wouldn't be doing it for the actual damage because the value that you get out of it is quite low. You're not able to maximize crit rate for both ranged and melee. Although you are able to do it a little better now than you were in the past, it still isn't very efficient, and you won't see very many people doing that. So as much as we love to have, I wish that that hybrid classes were a lot better. I really do. And I used to actually play Hellweaver in a very, very efficient way. Hellweaver is it's battle rage, shadow play, and sorcery, right? And I actually use the scepter in my main hand just to edge out a little bit more damage with magic. Now, this was a silly way to play, but I liked it because back then we had some extra abilities in sorcery, and I like to use those. And it works, but you are sacrificing a whole lot of stuff. You are sacrificing so many things to be able to make something like a hybrid build work. And so a lot of people won't choose those routes. Now, that said, what you sacrifice, you gain in another way, right? When I played Hellweaver, nobody knew what the hell I was doing, which means when I run into battle and somebody sees Hellweaver, you literally do not know whether this player is a melee or a range or a mage. You don't know whether or not your plate is going to help you or your cloth is going to help you. You don't know whether or not to be expecting magic damage or melee damage, and you throw people off. So there are some little advantages with playing these unique, different hybrid builds, but they usually don't outvalue the fact that you are sacrificing some pretty important stats to try to make it work. Which sucks, because I really like hybrid builds. I really wish that it was a much stronger thing, and this patch helps a little bit in the direction of having hybrid builds, but, it's just not enough. It's just, it's getting there, but it's just not quite there yet, right? You get a lot of evasion and parry when splitting abilities, and a lot of options for attack, far and close. Yeah, you get a lot of options, absolutely. So I actually played Outrider for a little bit, so this is a very, very good example, right? Outrider is with archery. But I played Outrider not as a ranged, right? I played it as a melee, because I like melee classes, this is what I do. So I played Outrider for about 6 months, and the reason is because back then it had Boneyard, and I wanted to practice with Boneyard before it went to occultism. So I played Outrider, and I loved it. The reason is, yes, sometimes my abilities would miss, right? Because my accuracy wasn't perfect for ranged, but I wasn't doing it to do range damage. I was doing it for ranged combos. So for example, you bring in archery not for the ranged damage, but for the charge bolt slow, so you can actually whirlwind slash and trip people. You're doing the slow from range to guarantee that it'll happen. I used archery for... Yeah, I mean, you know this, then you play Outrider, there you go. I used archery for concussive arrow to cause... Back then it was shackle from a distance. Right now it's silence from a distance, right? One hit kill melee? What? Oh, ook melee, I see. Yeah, I don't understand where this ook thing comes from. I guess I'm too old for all these memes. Yeah, so, anyways, now you'd play archery because of how powerful Missile Rain is. Like, literally, Missile Rain missed, you don't need a target anymore, so you can actually find people that are stealth with it. You just pop it off and it goes. The Missile Rain that like, throws missiles in whatever direction you're facing. You can use it and then, like, quickly turn your screen around and see if there's anybody stealth near you, right? There's some really nice things in archery, but you wouldn't be doing it for damage. You would be doing it purely for utility, and that is where the difference lies. So think of it more as a utility class. You're a melee using archery as utility. You're a melee using archery for more defense penetration. You're a melee using archery for the snare. You're using it for the little dropbacks you can do with double recurve, especially life double recurve. You know, for the extra silences, for the extra, like, the silence disable is actually really, really powerful, and so having it is nice, right? Ook is like what a monkey or ape would say. Oh, I see. No, I have to think too much about what I do. I can't be an ape. What about using this class as a tank? I mean, most tanks will take something in the lines of, like, more crowd control, especially AoE crowd control, like occultism, witchcraft, or they'll keep themselves alive through things like aromancy or defense. Aromancy you see a little bit more often in general because aromancy has a lot of different capabilities that are a little bit more unique to keeping everybody around you alive as well. And so you can do it because of Sun to Earth alone, right? And you can even get a reset on Sun to Earth to use it again, which is nice. But relying on one ability sometimes isn't what you want to do, right? Because you're not always going to be able to use it the way you want, and then you're kind of screwed, right? So as a tank, you don't really get very many benefits out of archery, right? It's more about, like, disables and stuff, right? And these aren't the best disables in the universe, but they're ranged, which is kind of nice, right? They're ranged disables regardless, which are always interesting and useful to kind of take advantage of. But there's definitely more efficient ways, like, you know, throwing in defense, throwing in aromancy, throwing in, aromancy is a big defensive skill, where you even take protective wings to help people around you. You know, you take health lift to help people around you. You take thwart. You can play it in a more defensive structure. And in that case, you might not even need Shadowplane unless you're using the AoE Freerunner to help everybody around you, you know, be a little bit faster with movement speed and attack speed, which is kind of nice. But think of it in this way. You're using it as whatever your third is, whatever your second and third is, you may be using them as utility skill sets. Which means you're not using them for their main purpose, and you're okay with a little bit accuracy reduction. So let's say you take Archer, right? You said you're Outrider. You have Charge Bolt, right? You have to expect that, you know, 10% of the time, you're going to cast Charge Bolt, and it's not going to work. And you have to keep an eye on that. You have to make sure that you know, okay, Charge Bolt missed. I have a backup plan. I'm going to do something else, right? Or you use Concussive Arrow. Oh no, Concussive Arrow missed. Okay, I have a backup plan. So you have to play around those a little bit, right? You have to play around expecting that sometimes what you do is going to fail. In Occultism, we did not always have this passive. This is like new as of like 5.0. This passive says that Impale and Stun effects caused by Occultism never miss. Okay? This means that the Hellspear Quake might miss, or the Hellspear Basic might miss because I don't have accuracy in magic, right? But the effect of Stun will always, or the effect of Impale will always happen. We didn't used to have that. So when I played Executioner in 2014, and I used Hellspear with like 80% accuracy in magic, I expected that, yes, 20% of the time, this is not going to work. And if I don't have a backup plan, I'm screwed. And I learned to adapt to a play style that forced me to say, okay, whatever I do might go wrong. And it made a little bit more fun and interesting gameplay. It's a little bit RNG-based, but I was always a crit sort of build back then. And I enjoyed the gameplay style a lot because it wasn't just an easy game. It was an actual game I had to think and understand what was going on. I had to look at everything around me. My combat awareness had to go up, and I played a very squishy glass cannon build in addition to all of this stuff. And so, you know, my gameplay sort of started to adapt to those limitations, right? Choosing Occultism was weird in 2014, 2015. Most people didn't really use Occultism back then, but I did. And so already I was at a disadvantage because most people would go different classes for other purposes. I didn't even use Bondbreaker ever in my entire history in Archeage, back even when it was OP back then, because I didn't like Bondbreaker. I didn't like the way that it worked. And so I learned to adapt to the playstyle without using Bondbreaker, right? I just tried never to get snared or tripped. I tried never to get into those situations, so my movement in battle had to account for that, right? And so I learned, right? I learned over many years how to play in this style. So yeah, there's quite a bit. There's quite a bit to think about when it comes to these sort of things, because there's a lot going on in combat, and you sort of learn and get used to things over time. Hopefully this helps a little bit, Nansen, with a little bit of brainstorming with your builds. And listen, there's going to be people that say, oh, why are you playing Outrider? That sucks, right? But that's just because they don't understand what you're trying to do with it. And that's their problem, not yours. So try not to let people get to you with that sort of thing. I've had all sorts of... all the time, you know, people have said that to me. And it's funny because people know who I am or they understand how I play. So over the years, a lot of people defend me without me caring, which is kind of nice, but whatever. It's fine. It's not that big of a deal, right? So, like, when I played Outrider for a little while, people were like, what the hell are you doing? Why are you playing Outrider? And somebody else would be like, it's GamePro, just leave him alone, alright? He knows what he's up to. But you're not always going to have that luxury, right? Because you might not always have a name for yourself that was given to you based on how you play. And you have to expect that, same as what I did, right? So I defend myself. I just play well and continue what I'm doing, right? Sometimes your guild leader will say, you know what, for this particular purpose, we need you to have Aromancy. And it sucks because if you're not used to Aromancy or you don't have a build ready for it, you're going to be you're going to be confused in combat because you don't know where all your skills are. So, you know, it kind of sucks when people say that. Oh, you got to play this build right now. Like, well, I've never practiced with that before. You know, that sucks. It's not a feels-good thing. But it happens, unfortunately, and it's kind of up to you what you do in those cases. Generally, I just left the raid, but I'm a solo player, so I play by myself, I do my own thing, and everybody else just has to deal with that. That is not how I expect, and not how I recommend Archeage to be played. Okay? It's a guild game. Sometimes you're going to have to do things with your guild, and so practicing is... Thanks. Practicing is an important aspect, which means, let's say somebody is like, oh, dude, Aromancy is really good. Maybe outside of combat, outside of PvP, go try out Aromancy, you know, mess with some builds. You get a little bit more familiar with what to do if somebody says, we need more Aromancy in this fight, or we need more Witchcraft in this fight. You could be the one that says, yes, I'll do it, right? And then it helps a lot. So there's still a lot of different ways to play that make sense and make the game more fun, even without having to go a pure hybrid build. And one more example I want to give, actually, is... we have too many Confessors in Siege, we need more of other classes. Okay, thanks. I know, yeah, because people are overriding each other's songs and we don't need to. Confessors are generally really good, actually. Especially if, like, you can get some really good alarm calls off. They're not called alarm calls anymore. You know what I'm talking about. You can actually do some really, really powerful things. But you don't need, like, 14 of them, you know? So there is a fine balance is absolutely necessary. Having more witchcraft and occultism in combat is so good because of how powerful Innervate and Absorb Life Force are. How powerful having different AoE CCs is. So playing with these different classes is actually really, really good. Now, if you're a Confessor and you've been told to play Doombreaker and you've never played Doombreaker before, you need to tell them, I've never played Doombreaker before. Do you want me to play a really shitty Doombreaker, or do you want me to play Confessor well? Okay? And then away from the PvP conflict, go and try out Doombringer. See if it works for you. Understand how it plays, because it has its values as well, right? And then next time they say, can you play Doombreaker, you say yes. Or Doombringer, you can say, yes, I can, absolutely, I got this. And then you can bring that value into the fight, right? So... that's a lot of words, I know. I've went off about a topic again. I hope it helps a little bit, though. I'm going to eat some pickled radishes that are put next to me here. Alright. Or maybe I've put everybody to sleep, I don't know. do you mean, DR 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dead? Yeah, a lot of people play it that way, and to be fair, that's what it's about, right? It is an assassin class with massive burst and high cooldowns. It is literally a class designed to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dead, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just a play style, right? People choose that play style. It's fine. Personally, I never liked that play style. That's my own personal thoughts about it. It used to be very, very powerful because it would give a lot of other bonuses too. They've since taken those away. So Aromancy has actually become a very valid thing now because of how powerful mages are. To be honest, Aromancy now as a mage, or as a melee, it's actually pretty damn important. And the reason is because if you're dying so much in combat, Aromancy can help keep you alive. If you keep dying to crushing waves because you're out there in the front lines, yeah, taking Aromancy is actually pretty damn good because you can guarantee you can get your bursts off. So, yeah, it's good. Absolutely. A lot of people don't play that anymore, but it is still, it's actually more value now as an interesting, unique class than it was back in the day, I would say at least. Talked about secret things in Archeage. What about all the secret quests, like the breathing device? So, there are some good resources on those, and there's so many, I don't even know where to begin with them. That's why I don't really want to go over it too much. That's why I'd rather just say, hey, go explore the world, go try things out, go under the water and look at weird-ass places in the ocean. Just like go swim around Halcyon Gulf here, or go swim around like all these Arcadian Sea areas. You'll find interesting things. You go up in the mountain areas, you know, go check out like, oh man, what is all this stuff? What are these different villages? What's going on here? If you're a Westie, if you've never been to Ironclaw Mine, you should go check it out. Just to look and see how the different, terrain looks, and maybe you'll come up with something cool. Like this area here is really, really cool. A lot of people don't even go to. Sunbite Wilds is actually really cool as a location, and there's actually a lot of housing there too, huh? I wonder if people use that to like do trade runs through the water to go up to Solus. Probably, right? And so there's a lot going on in the world. It's tough to talk about everything. It's tough to make a stream about some of those things because that is a real core aspect of the game that I do actually want people to discover for themselves. So that's why on the streams you'll see that I say, or I go over to something and and maybe we'll talk about or show off one secret quest. But my goal there isn't to show off all the secret quests. My goal is to show their existence so that other people then say, oh wait, maybe there's more things in this game I don't know, and then go out and look for them themselves. Now, there are resources for these things. There are some places you can go and find out about stuff, like the underwater breathing device. Tog made a good video about how to get the underwater breathing device, right? And so you can go and look at her videos and learn a little bit more about that, or any particular things, right? But there's a lot in this game that is really just undocumented and not talked about in any kind of a wiki or anything. So, oh, you have to go, Epic. All right, see you. I don't know if you're still here or not, but just noticed that. Yeah, so I don't want to go too much into that. There was a few other things I missed in that stream as well, of secrets and stuff. It's going to be that way, because this game literally has so many things in it that are just super uncommon, right? Why don't I start my own wiki? The main problem is, oh, you decide not to go? Okay, fine. Mostly because you can't trust any wikis, right? Like, they might go down at some point or whatever. And apparently you can't even trust GameAgo or Tryon's wiki, because it can too. But the main point is, what I really want is, I want them to put the wiki, specifically them doing the wiki, because of this. Because it's right here, in-game. This is why I want them to make the wiki, because this page currently goes to blank, and it doesn't do anything. But it used to actually go to a wiki that was officially hosted. And it's accessible in-game. You don't have to alt-tab or anything. This is why I want them to put up the wiki. This is why it's so important for them to do it. Because it's accessible in-game, right? And that's the most powerful thing you could do for your players, is to have everything in one spot without having to go out to Discord, or without having to go out to Twitter to learn about some kind of event going on. Or whatever, is to have everything in game, have all of your information in one place, and that's not being taken advantage of. And if I go and host one, there's no guarantee that it'll be, still up in 5 years, right, or whatever, and you could always lose information that way. So, you can't even write accurate patch notes, let alone a wiki, yeah. Yep, so it's tough to trust anybody with this stuff. It really is. And not only that, but there's like 3 wikis already that are up, and all of them are updated individually at different frequencies by different people. So even if I did make a wiki myself, there's no guarantee people would update mine versus updating something else, right? I can go and yell from the mountains, hey, we're going to use IGN wikis from now on. This is the official one we're going to use for now. The unofficial one we're going to use for now. Okay, but nobody's going to hear that, and nobody's going to care, and maybe it'll be updated for like 6 days, but then it's going to get forgotten about again. So we need a real official source for this stuff that everybody knows, yes, we can go to here, and we can, look up information and learn about stuff. That's the most powerful aspect about having the official wiki. What if GameGo offers that? Will never happen, and the reason for that is, unfortunately, they want to moderate anything that's official. So if there's a wiki in game, and somebody puts, porn on it, there's nothing they can do about it if it's my wiki and not their wiki, right? They can't action anybody for doing that. The official wiki actually links to your GameGo or Tryon account. So if you put something on their wiki, they can ban you for it. And that's why they want their own official wiki for it. That's the power with having that linked in with everything else, because it is literally all tied together. That's why it's so important. So they need to host it. They need to bring all that stuff back. They can even have the community do stuff. Like, literally, they can track who is contributing articles and what those articles are. They can actually reward people with, like, cosmetic stuff for helping contribute things to the wiki. They could make a big push for it. They can actually do anything they want here. But can and will is a very different word. So, yeah, it's tough to... I don't know, what are everybody says, big sad. It's big sad, alright? That's what it is right now. What am I doing? Are these things level 55 yet? Not really. We should show GameGo that we want an official wiki. I have shown many, many ways. In fact, I just sent a message yesterday with another reason. So, and I talked about this earlier. Here's what I said. So now what I'm trying to do is convince them we need a wiki, not because of us, and not because of them, but because of the publishing team. And maybe that'll finally get through to them. Here's what I said. I said, bring the wiki back. Have it open up when you log in with the news. Like, right when you log in the game, have the wiki open up. And the first page that's there is the news, sales, ongoing events. That way people can actually go in-game. Everybody, without having to go to social media, knows what's going on. And it increases the potential marketable audience by probably like 5 or 6 times, honestly. So hopefully that's a good way to show the production team that it is actually a great way and reason to put in the wiki, right? Because it is an actual marketable thing that it can increase players' knowledge of sales and stuff, okay? I hope that gets through to them, finally, and they're like, oh, damn, we should put a wiki. Let's make that happen. How do they react to that? I just put that in yesterday, so I sent that to a CM that I talked to, Archeage, and they'll probably get back to me, Monday once work starts up again, so tomorrow. You're going to get rated? Okay, no problem. That's cool. So we'll see what actually ends up happening, but I honestly don't expect very much, Nansen. But, yeah, absolutely. I've suggested a lot of things that have been taken very, very seriously. I have many, many things I've suggested on the forums have actually happened. And it was through a lot of effort, through, like, previous CMs as well, that took that stuff to heart and really pushed it, So it's good. They do listen. It's just, you have to actually try to work with everybody together. You have to work with... It's a whole thing. Thanks for the raid, Tiny Toxin. Hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. What's up, everyone? If you guys have not seen my stream before, I'm GamePro03. I do different content about mechanics. I answer different questions about stuff. So, sup? What's everybody doing? How's everybody hanging out? You guys having a good time? I don't know what sentences I'm saying. I'm tired. I've been streaming for a while already. It's not normal for me. I don't stream as often. I just help answer questions, alright? What do you want from me? CMs listen, it's the higher-ups. Yeah, exactly, right. It's the people who don't play the game that we were having a hard time getting through to, so... Trying our best. What can you do? But yeah, if you guys have any questions about mechanics, you want to theorycraft builds, you want to talk about different Archeage things that exist, proficiencies, or you know, quest stuff, or you know, whatever. All of that stuff is extremely useful. Generally, there's not a lot of information about Archeage, and we all know this. Archeage is an extremely complicated game, so honestly, this is a really good place to ask questions and learn some stuff. I do my best to help give you guys those sorts of knowledge things. We'll just go with that. All right, and that's what we're doing right now. We're just answering questions and hanging out. I'm not doing too much else on stream, other than answering you fine folks. And also, you probably saw my video complaining about stuff. Yeah, I did that. Yeah. We've talked about that already many times. The Arc Pass sucks. All right, we're not going to go into that. I know. All right, we've done enough there. We get it. Oh man. Play the game. Hold on to your seats. Wait for the next. Yeah, I know. We really are. I mean, I'm not going to get this Arc Pass personally. I want to see what happens in November. I want to see them apologize for what they're doing. I don't want to go into it. I don't see that happening at all in reality. But Archeage is still really good. I'm still going to keep playing. Because I still freaking love this game. I just hate what's being done to it, as we've seen over the last 6 years, you know? Last patch notes, they talked about a materials chest you get from achievement. How do you get it? It's not in the achievements list. Is it not? I thought it was, actually. But it's actually, you get it by earning Lord coins. I think it's, you have to earn 100 Lord coins, and then you get the materials chest. Is that correct? I think that's correct, right? I thought that I saw it here, though. I just don't know where it was. Or maybe I saw a Reddit post about it. Oh, man, now I don't even know. Now I'm questioning myself. Does anybody have the perfect answer to that? Am I correct? 100? It's 100 Lord coins, Crazy? They started out great and they ruined it? Yeah, they did. Oh, man, I don't want to go into this. We've talked about it for, like, the last several weeks. The last few days have been like, oh, God, it's so tiring, man. I get so many PMs about stuff. I mean, I freaking love the community. I know there's so much toxicity in the community. I get it, right? But I love you guys because it's actually, like, we're all on the same page here, right? We're all on the same page when it comes to, like, making Archeage a good game, all right? And if everybody just chills and like, screw all the drama on your servers, all right? We got a bigger problem right now, and we always have. We have to point all of our fingers at the publisher and XL Games to make this game what we want it to be. And it's not easy to do, right? And they're going to continue making the game how they want it to be. And that's correct, right? That's actually how it should be. But our suggestions do help as well. So, or should help, I should say. I play and win. Jilly? Make Archeage great again. Okay. Yes. Let's go with that area. So anyways, yeah, if you guys have questions about mechanics and stuff, feel free to ask. We can go over things. So I've talked about a lot of things on Reddit posts and videos and all this stuff. You guys have probably seen by now that 3 hours of secrets marathon compilation thing that I did like a week and a half ago or something. But we can go over any of those topics again if you want a little bit more information about stuff. If you want to learn a little bit about height damage bonus, or you want to learn about how loot pots work, or there's different topics that interest you and you want to learn more mechanics about stuff, you can ask all of those questions, absolutely. We could totally have those kind of discussions. It's not political if it's Archeage, okay? Fair enough. I'm all for you saying that. I agree. You're into Nistrish? Oh, okay. How's the Nistrish doing in general? Have you guys been able to, like, do you guys still do world bosses? Can you fuel raids? Generally, how are things looking? And Denny? I'm also eating radishes, so you're going to hear that. You're just going to have to deal with it, though. You would do Ipnea, but you want to do second boss? So do I. I can tank for the second boss, apparently. It's actually not that hard, either. I could probably do the light boss. And I could probably tank the light boss, honestly. Especially if I play my Abolisher build. Yeah, that'd be really easy. I'd have no problem with that if I need to. Second boss is easy enough to tank. Yeah, it is. I never done it before until I had to, right? And then it was like, it's fine. But I also have the, I have an offhand shield that works out really, really well, right? So I have this second set of stuff that I pop whenever I need to tank damage, with a Searing Oath main hand and a shield in the offhand. And I just pop right back to my main stuff. That's what I use to like tank a bunch of burst damage too. Chili, you guys do content all the time in Denny. East is slowly trickling away. West is still thriving. That's not a bad description, actually. That's better than a lot of other servers, I would say. As long as there's still interesting things happening. Drama, I get, you know, happens all the time, but like, as long as there's competition, or at least people are fighting to some degree, and there's some PvP and things going on, then content's getting done, I guess that's good. I don't know. It's tough with everything that's happening in Archeage on our servers at the moment, and a lot of people kind of lost hope and are a little bit sad with the direction change, right? So we'll see what November brings, but then I'm still worried about December. Even if they don't bring out like a super pay-to-win Arc Pass in November, like December might, right? Nothing is guaranteed anymore. That's what I'm worried about. You guys have your share? Oh, I play on Win server. Back. You got tier 2 Mythic Lib shield yesterday? Oh, Gratz. Yes, Gratz nerd. There you go. I don't have anybody Gratz. Oh, that's not true. I guess people do congratulate me for stuff. I don't really think about it much. I'm not trying to do that. I don't really care. You guys have your share in drama with Denny as well. People have started having fun. See, I think Legacy's starting to get it. I think Legacy's finally like, you know what, we're not going to get any more players. If we want to have fun in Legacy, we have to make fun, right? And so, you know, there's hopefully a little bit more PvP nowadays, and people are actually trying to make, like, scrims happen, and fun PvP where it's actually interesting, and not just, like, a super one-sided fight. Because it's your game, and turns out, oh, you know, the content in Archeage is actually your enemy, and if you kick your enemy out of the game, you're gonna be pretty bored, right? I hope people are learning that over time. I wish people knew it from day one, and actively tried to make sure that, you know, a server was balanced from the very beginning and would stay balanced. And it's an important aspect because Archeage is a PvP game at its core, and if you remove the PvP aspect, Final Fantasy XIV is great, by the way. It's an amazing game. I haven't really played it myself, but I know enough about it, and I've seen tons of gameplay. I understand why it's a great PvE game, right? Why it's mostly a good PvE game. I wouldn't play Archeage for the PvE very much, but, you know, it seems to be like that's the case for some reason, so. And I love all MMOs for different reasons. All MMOs are good at different things and all sorts of stuff. Archeage is great at delivering all sorts of different content, but if you just take away half that content, it becomes a little stale, right? Streaming a Nation chat? What do you mean? Oh, are they talking about me streaming? I have no idea. Not really watching the stuff that's going on. Yeah, Final Fantasy XIV is great. I mean, it's a good game, right? They've done very, very good things to bring communities together, you know, to enhance social interaction between each other. That's great. That's how it should be. Always. Oh, crap, we can actually do that thing now. I can actually take some information from everybody with suggestions. Because I was trying to put together a list of different things they could put into the, like, different deals and stuff, as opposed to, like, labor rechargers and things. And I put out a massive list already to them directly. I'm wondering if you guys have any suggestions as well. So, like, let me put it this way. They have this, like, anniversary, you know, the 20th anniversary of Game Ago. And they have this thing where you can, like, buy bundles of cosmetic stuff or bundles of fireworks, right? But fireworks are, like, dull and boring, and we have so many of them. Why are people going to spend $5 for some fireworks, right? So I put together a massive list of things that they could put in bundles if they really want to, you know, actually make money off of us. You know, there's crest cubes that we're missing out on. There's all sorts of different things they could put in that will make people happy and will make way more money than disappointing the entire community in one go, right? I'm curious if you guys have any suggestions for that kind of stuff. Snail mount. Well, see, somebody's going to be like, oh, you can buy a snail mount. That sucks. That's pay to win. But I like those ideas. This is exactly what brainstorming is about, right? So here's what I have on my list. You guys ready for this? Can you guys disagree or agree with these things? If there's anything on this list you're like, no, don't do that, just let me know, okay? This is a big-ass list. Okay, you ready? You guys ready? Where's my list? Actually, I don't even know where it is. I've already sent it. Oh, here it is. Okay. You guys ready for this? By the way, there's a problem with crest cubes, I realized. Do you know why we don't have crest cubes? I'm not kidding. Do you realize why we don't have crest cubes? Get ready. Look at this. Look in the folio. Crest cube. Okay. Search by material. The crest cube that you can use to make all these other ones, this is all unbound. That's why we don't have crest cubes in the credit shop. Because there's no bound version of the crest cubes that actually make bound versions of the furniture. That's why we don't have this stuff. That's why we don't have crest cubes. Now, there is a bound crest cube, but you can't use a bound crest cube to make these, right? Because these wouldn't be bound. We don't have folio entries for them. That's the problem, and I made sure to point that out. Now, that said, let's go over this list, okay? And then again, point out something. If something feels odd, you're like, no, don't do that, just say something about it, all right? And there's going to be some arguments on these things, especially like expansion scrolls and saving pendants. All right, so let me go over the list very quickly. So in the list, bound crest cubes, bound crest stairs, bound crest ramp, bound adhesive crest dome. This is this stuff, essentially. Okay, that's out of the way now. Grass fences, other luxury fences, crestable walls, crestable partitions, crestable fences. Sets of furniture like the bar sets, animated crest frames, which are technically buildable in-game, but is still a cosmetic. Mannequins, crest brainstorms, which are the things you use to make images. Weapon images such as Hasla, Tier 7, Obsidian Gear, Vero, Hellkist, having those in like bundles and stuff is a big deal. Saving pendants in bundles, right, of like 3 or something. Bound expansion scrolls, a big thing people would buy multiple of, right, in bundles specifically. Bound language proficiency books, Fusion Alembics, housing lights, like for Christmas. Those letters they had for Christmas, Rudolph light things you put on your house. Bound decor limit increases for your house to increase the limit once by 50. Plushie bundles, tree/plant furnitures. Plushie beds, but not the ones that give labor. Armor images from Tier 7. Armor images from pajamas. Armor images from old Aurora gear. You guys remember that? You used to have the faded gear and those old Aurora gears. They have images for them as well. Old quest gear images that don't exist anymore. We have a lot of quests in this game that gives unique images of armor and weapons. And they're not in the game at all because those quests are gone. And it'd be nice to have those back. Guild name change tokens. People might buy multiple of. I don't know. It seems to be a thing, right? Family growth tickets, family name change tokens, die tickets, premium Arc Pass tickets. Why don't they just have a bundle for those, right? Throwable snowballs. Oh, they will never have a bundle for those. I just realized why they'd never do the Arc Pass tickets, because they want to guarantee they have monthly, revenue every quarter, not just one big spike in revenue and then the next one sucks. They'd never do Arc Pass tickets. Anyways, throwable snowballs. We actually have snowballs you can throw at people, just like water. By the way, secret in Archeage, you know you can throw water just by right-clicking it and left-clicking where you want to throw it? You can do this. You can do that. Did I just blow anybody's mind? Yeah. You can't water plants this way, but it's a thing you can do. So we actually have ones that are just like that, but for snowballs. And if you just like have, for $5 you give somebody 500 snowballs, or snowballs, whatever. People would buy that, why not? It's just silly, right? Just people being silly. That's a good thing. Anyways, house pets, pet leash, Halloween furniture, Daru furniture, just seasonal furniture in general, and flower beds. That's what's on my list right now. Now I'm going to go back to chat. Sorry, I wasn't reading everything just because you guys are... Or just because I was going over the list. So let me see what you guys have been talking... Why is my chat not going? There we go. Alright. Yeah, everything could be in the paid pass, to be fair, too. I think it's just ideas for them to think about. Do we know how many average players daily? Not really. But we can kind of see how many people are at least watching Twitch for the rewards, right? So that's not too bad, eh? You see how many players are watching Legacy streams versus Archeage Unchained streams. You know how many people are generally divided between the two communities now. because, you know, to get the drop rewards, you need to be in the game of your choice, right? If you want Archeage Unchained drops, you need to be in Archeage Unchained streams, and I hate that. You're splitting the community. But I complained about that since day one of Archeage Unchained, and now I see definitely why. It's because they had to do that to make their systems work with drops, which they did try to make work for Archeage Unchained release, but clearly didn't, right? That clearly did not end up happening. You're always throwing water at people? Nice. Good. I'm glad. That's what I do, too. A lot of people don't know about the water thing, though. You don't have any issues with those so far? That was my list, which is kind of a... I feel like that's not enough of a list, Slightly Sleepy. I feel like I do need a lot more. So, it's a good list. What other things like fireworks? What other things like the throwable snowballs do we already have in-game? Do we know of anything? I'm, you know, talking to all of you fine folks. There's got to be some stuff that I'm not thinking of here that we could actually like be like, hey, by the way, Gamigo, if you just throw like 600 of these snowballs into a package, people are gonna buy that stuff because it's hilarious, right? Or whatever, right? There's actually a lot of things in game that they're flying over my head. We don't know about it, and to be honest, the CMs probably don't know about it either, right? Because they're not thinking about these things all the time. They've got a lot of things, fine. You know, there's a lot they've got to think about, I'm sure. But we can go and provide our input, right? That's what I've always done. I'll continue doing that. Even though I'm not an official Gamigo content creator anymore, I'm done with that. I didn't feel like it provided much value, so I stepped away from the official creator team. Which was not like a Discord thing. That was like I was directly talking with their team. That was like an email stuff, right? Very different. I can still contribute and try to make the game better for everybody, which is exactly what I try to do, right? The game designer in me always wants that to be the case. You're not sure which to come back to. Used to play in 2015 and haven't since your days of ganking and harpooning people out of the harbor. Ah, yes. Yeah, that's a thing you could still do technically, but you just won't see that happening as often just because nobody's sitting in the harbor for very long, right? You'd probably come back to Unchained, honestly, just because it's nice to be able to pay once and never have to worry about, like, having to pay monthly again. Specifically because on Legacy, if you want to keep your housing up, you have to pay monthly. If you want to keep your housing up on Unchained, you're set. You put your house down. Don't... Okay, Aria, I'm not going to go into that right now. That's... Okay, anyways. My point is, Unchained is nice because it's a less toxic, you have to pay monthly thing, right? Like... You get to keep your housing forever as long as you just log in once every 5 weeks and pay the taxes. You're all set. Cool. Awesome. So it's a lot nicer in that regard, even still. Now, I don't know if that's going to stay that way, because I don't know anything anymore. Who knows, right? We have no guarantees of anything. But at least for the time being, Unchained is still pretty nice for that regard. Buy once, you can technically play the game forever. That is a true statement, until they change it. Then it will not be a true statement anymore. But we don't know if they will or not. Anyways. US or EU in that case. Used to play Defiler. It's whatever's closer to you, whatever's better with ping. If you play Defiler, you could play on a slightly laggier server and it's okay. But it's not as fun still, you know. You do want to play generally in a... Like on EU, Alexander server's awesome, man. It's really active, lots of stuff going on. I'm hearing pretty good things. On NA, you have Tyrannos, or I don't know how people pronounce it. I'm sure it's all over the place. It's a pretty active server, generally balanced between all the populations. There's, you know, drama and things, and flip-flopping back and forth happening, whatever, in terms of power. I get it. I understand. And generally, there are still really, really active servers you can go to and enjoy the game with a guild and do shit, you know, stuff, right? Or shit. I don't have to care anymore about swearing. It's not something that I cared for in general. Like, but I try to watch my language, I guess. But, whatever. Who gives a shit? I'm still reading chat here because you guys have been talking about a lot of stuff. We need height and weight modifiers. Oh, for what? 1 hour big head mode. Aw, dude, I've been begging for that kind of stuff forever. I really want, like... literally that. Like, I want consumables that, like, put buffs around you or something. It's really cool, right? Like, that make you... It sets you on fire for, like, a day, right? Why don't we have those kind of things? like, do it in the style of Archeage, make it look really good and tacky, but I'm surprised that XL has not gone the route of more customization and stuff like that. Now, to be fair, there is a buff limit, so people wouldn't really be using this stuff very often, because you'd be hitting the buff limit in PvP, and then something's going to go away that you don't want to go away. So there's a little bit of a counterintuitive thing there, right? But generally, they can make it work if they really, really wanted to. And I've been suggesting that for a long time. It sounds like that's not the direction they want to go, or just not something they want to put effort into, which is a shame. Let's see, what else have you guys been talking? By the way, if there's any, like, if I missed a question, feel free to just ask it again. Sorry about that. There's a lot of stuff going on. I wasn't prepared for 100 people suddenly in chat, which is fine. I think that's perfectly good. Means I can help out more folks. And yeah, in general, if you guys have any questions about Archeage stuff, if you're a returning player, a new player, you want to learn more about mechanics, or there's different things, you know, like with a build you want to learn about, or something specific in terms of like theory crafting, this is a really good place to talk about that stuff. And it's there's no such thing as noob questions in Archeage, because literally everything is complicated. Okay, let's say you want to go into logging. Depending on proficiency and how much logging you have, you can do different things and have access to different items. Depending on what trees you're planting and what regions, how often you need to go back to the tree to make sure that it's thunderstruck or not. Where are you planting trees in hidden locations where you might want to plant 2,000 trees at a time and hope that nobody else finds them? There is a ton of stuff with logging, right? Like, that's one proficiency. My point is that there's a lot of stuff in this game that's complicated. Asking questions is really, really important, and I don't think people do it enough, and that's why I try to leave some time open in my day to stream whenever I can, just to kind of be around and help people out. Did you try the new vehicles in live, or are they only in PTS? They are. They're all on live, and I'm having so much fun with them. Look at this. Oh god, it's jeez, man, I can't even. It's so good. I absolutely love 7.0 for the vehicle system, and like. All the balance changes are nice. The gameplay feels a lot better for everybody. It's so good. All right, and when I kind of go and take a siege tank and shoot at a mob. Okay, not that mob because it's too close. Shoot at that mob and practically kill it. It's pretty cool. Wait, what? How did that one aggro me? Oh god, everything's aggroed on me. Oh, never mind. Wait, how's that happen? My point is that siege equipment is actually extremely useful now in PvP. Once again, just like it was back in like 2015, because the damage that these things output with siege damage is incredible, and mine is a little bit upgraded up to epic, so it does a little bit more damage. Each of these siege shots do a base 20,000 damage. Height damage bonus still does work for siege damage, so if I hit something downhill, it's going to do a lot more damage than that. It's going to do maybe like 25,000 or something. Let's see if I can one-shot this guy. Oh, pretty close, actually. It's definitely above the 20,000, as you can see, because I'm just a little bit higher in terms of height than this dude is. Now he's going to go around and try to get me. That's... Alright, I don't know what happened there. Anyways, I really like the siege system. Or this particular, you know, the siege damage system is great. Oh god, it's so good. It's so good. I even used it in Halsey, man. Effectively. It's so awesome. You literally, like, farm people with it if they don't know what's happening, right? We're not used to these, so people are now going to have to learn how to avoid tank shots. So I'm really happy about this stuff. Zyros, what server should a new player start on? It kind of depends on what you're looking for. I wouldn't pick a fresh start server because the current servers are probably going to have transfers and merges first. So if you ever want to switch server, it's a little bit easier to do it. But generally, you can go to any server, you'll find a guild and friends to play with, right? I think generally most servers are still doing content, still doing things. There are definitely more active servers. There's servers like Win West, where if you want to be in the underdog faction, you can do that, right? I'm sure, you know, Jurgens and Danny and Kalen have their underdog faction as well. That's a choice you can make if you like that kind of gameplay. Personally, I always seek underdog experiences because being the top dog is so boring to me, and I end up quitting games very, very early if I win too much. So I like being the underdog. Tyrannos is really nice on North America because it's kind of balanced between the different factions. A lot of drama still, as like any server, but you know, you'll be able to find a guild and do content and stuff. On EU, Alexander's pretty damn good because of the same thing. It's pretty balanced. I'm sure there's still drama going on. You'll still be able to find a guild and do stuff and enjoy the game, right? I'm sure that other people have their opinions on these things. These are all my opinions, right? I probably screwed something up there, so I'm sorry about that if I messed up something about a server. Yeah, maybe your server doesn't have a drama at all, like Invictus's server. Invictus doesn't play with drama at all. Invictus is everybody blocked in game, and make sure that everything's okay. There's never drama, right? Paycheck, you got a question. You know where the suspicious jars are, but where are the cube shards for the corrupted cube achievements? Oh, they're all over this area over here. Oh, wait. Yeah, so this area over here has a bunch of cubes, and you can pop those cubes and get a buff, and you have to pop all the cubes to get that particular corrupted cubes achievement. I think that's the one you're looking for, and I might be wrong. If somebody knows what Paycheck was talking about and can correct me or can confirm it, let me know. I'm like 95% sure this is what we're talking about, right? Oh, what map? Oh, sorry, this is Western Haram Mountains, my bad. I'm in Western Haram Mountains at the moment, so. Western Haram Mountains, just in the middle here, around the Amaton Highlands area, you'll see a bunch of cubes on the ground. Can you explain what vehicle is better for every situation? Give me a list of situations and I can do that. It's tough, right? PvE is a weird thing, but in PvP it's different. You generally wouldn't use cars with cannons on it in PvP because the damage is pretty low over time. People can just heal it up anyways. The siege tanks are forever now, man. Siege tanks are just insane and an absolutely delightful way to play the game again. Can I just say, I've been very happy since the siege tanks came back the way that they are now. They're so great. But yes, that's true. You're right. The motorized skateboard is great. You can take AFK people and you can stack them all up together in Marianople and make a little band out of them. I've done that before. Just playing Ritter, can't have drama if there's no people. Well, yeah, there's that option too. You can go to a server with nobody there. Oh my gosh. What siege vehicle do I prefer? Yeah, that's a great question, actually. So, correct me if I'm wrong. The fire ironclad fires faster but does less damage. The wheeled mortar is like a middle ground between the fire ironclad and the ironclad, which does more damage but has a higher cooldown. Now, all three of these siege tanks have the exact same DPS. I kid you not. However, the fire ironclad is a little bit faster, actually. Like, it actually moves faster as a vehicle, number one. And number two, if you shoot the sieged fire ironclad on the ground, it leaves a little fiery area that people take a little bit of extra damage in. Although we haven't seen that work in PvP, so it might be bugged or something. I'm not entirely sure. The wheeled mortar has the benefit where if you fire the shell while sieged, everybody in the location that gets hit is slowed for about 5 seconds. And the ironclad is important for exactly what you just said, Ghost, that the ironclad siege version will actually stun everybody in that area that gets hit for 2 seconds. Now, a stun is a little bit tougher because you are essentially giving those players diminished returns before a fight might even be happening. And it might not stun people or cause diminished return immunity for stun a little bit earlier than you expect. Sometimes ironclads might not be the best thing you want to do, but it just depends on the situation. And because it does so much burst damage, I think it actually is the best in most situations. Because sometimes you'll only be able to get 1 or 2 shots off anyways before your opponents realize there's something up there shooting at us and we probably want to kill it, right? Personally, I mean, I have the wheeled mortar here. If I had the ironclad, I'd probably use it over the wheeled mortar myself. I decided to go for wheeled mortar. I don't regret anything. It's awesome. I think you can go either route and be perfectly fine. The fire ironclad is a little bit more expensive, and maybe if this thing is bugged, it's not worth it, but it's still there. It moves faster by like 5 or 6 meters a second even. It's quite quick for a tank, but you know, it fires faster too, so you can generally get shots off quicker than the other vehicles. So it just depends on your playstyle, depends on the situation or what you want to do, right? But yeah, so right now, siege tanks are buffed massively because the actual siege damage output is like insane. The default damage on a tank is 10,000 sieged damage when sieged. When unsieged, a tank will do like 4,000 damage a shot every 3 seconds in siege damage. This is really nice. This is really nice because you can upgrade them too. So like I just showed off, my tank does 20,000 base siege damage when sieged, which can practically one-shot people. And if I'm standing on top of a hill, because of the height difference, you get even bonus damage from that. So then instead of doing 20,000 damage, it does like 25 or 27,000 damage. It's a really, really good bonus. Get them out into hostile territory and gank them with the cross-faction ults. What are we... Wait, is that a reference to something? Are we talking about something that I missed? I don't know. Maybe I was talking about something earlier in the night. Maybe it was a reference to something else. Sorry about that. You had said that earlier about something else. Trying to pay attention to a lot of things at the same time. Nansan, you really want to get the Strata? Oh, with the skateboard. Yeah, that's right. Yes, exactly. That's true. My bad. Yeah, thanks for yeah, Epic and Frick. Thanks for Oh, hey. What's up? Oh, sorry. Okay, hello. You really want the Strata? Wondering if to choose. So the Rampage is really still just a cosmetic vehicle. Okay, it doesn't have any kind of slots, and when it does get slots, it's only getting an engine, a chassis for extra health, and a back seat you can customize. So instead of having 2 back seats, you can put like pumpkins in there, or you can put a bunch of fish in there. Not like real fish, fake fish. Or you can put a piano in there. Or you could put a drum set in there. So the Rampage, they have decided to really purely keep as a cosmetic. You use it for trade runs. That's what this thing is good for. The other cars, which are very expensive, and not just for diligence or anything. Yeah, and trade, that's true, yeah, of course, right. So the Rampage is more like cosmetic plus trade, right? And I have one, right? I have one. I don't even do trade runs, I just wanted it, so I got it. I do trade runs occasionally because I like driving in this game. Driving actually is really, really fun in Archeage, and I like driving in general, so I got this because I like using it. So occasionally I'll do a little trade run from air and rock. It's not efficient, but I do it because it's just fun to drive down those mountains, right? And I enjoy that. They did the Rampage dirty. Yeah, it's not... with no cannon, it's not as fun, is it? They could have made it 5 storages plus 2 backs. I mean, technically it's... Technically, if you have other people with packs on their backs or ults or something, you can move even more packs, right? At the same time, because it has so many seats. And people do tend to do that, especially on legacy servers. The Strata is a very, very expensive thing to get, though. You have to get every other vehicle in the game, excluding the Enoan, right? Or the Enoan. I should pronounce it correctly, right? Yeah, multi-boxing. Well, yeah, on the same account, yeah. People will get multiple PCs, though. I don't know. I think they said that was actually legal. I have no idea. I only have one other character on one other account that I barely log into. So I don't really do any kind of multi-character stuff whatsoever, right? My second character, they make labor for me, and I use it for diligence occasionally. But yeah, I'm pretty much just on one character for the most part. Strata has 4 packs in the back, Rampage has 3. Oh, true, yeah, the Strata has 4. Good point. Yeah, but it's, again, super expensive to get that thing. Like, it's an absolute nightmare to have to get everything. And all the arena coins for the turtle craft. It's a big deal, alright? It's not easy to get that thing. How is it not used to do 18 character trade runs? I'm sure in Legacy it is, right? Probably. I'm also eating in the background, so you guys are gonna have to deal with that. Does the speedboat have customization options upcoming? Nope, not anything that we've heard of, unfortunately. Slightly sleepy. Oh, I see. Change it to let you do the same amount of hack. Oh, that'd be cool. I don't know if they've done that or not. I don't know what the actual customization options are for the Rampage. But I see your point. That would be nice. Because that actually makes it so that if you don't have alts, you can compete with those that do, right? I don't know if they've actually done that, though, Arya. Why is Strata not in the folio? Because you can't craft it. You can only get it from an achievement. And it's the... Like I said, you have to get every vehicle in the game to get it. It is extremely, extremely hard to get. And you're right, you can buy some of the things like the totem for the turtle craft. But in general, yeah, so here it is, the Strata. It's right here. And you have to get all these achievements. Every single thing. On all of these. It is not something that most people get to. I've pretty much... Foxes running over. Alright, I guess we're just chilling here. Yeah. Yeah, it's... well, you're just gonna be there, Foxes. Go kill those ads! Alright, there you go. Thank you. Gosh. What were we talking about? Oh, yeah, the achievement thing. So... Thanks for following, everybody, by the way. All the new folks that are just hanging out. Getting your drops. By the way, in case you guys don't know, there's all the drops links. You can go to this page and do ! drops. It'll give you your inventory, you can claim stuff, and you can claim it from the Archeage Unchained marketplace as well. So, quick links for those. Is the Growling Yell still rare? Yeah, I think so. It's like super rare. Quack. I mean, I've seen like 2. I don't know how many other people have them, but I know of 2 people that do. I'm sure that others have it. I just don't see it or notice it as much, but... you're 9 out of 29 for the Strata? Yeah, it's not... it's like a pipe dream, you know? I'm not gonna think about it. It'd be nice to have a Strata, but yeah, it's a bit much to get that thing. Pets need aggressive back. I wish we had aggressive pets, honestly. Oh, you got 17k, are you? Man, look at you with your 17k. Grats. How do you farm it? How do you farm the Growling Yell? Oh, so the main way to do it right now is... well, there's the Vairavas, right? So when you kill enough mobs in the purified regions of these Aurora territories, Vairavas spawn, and those Vairavas can drop pieces of the scrolls you need for the Growling Yell. Those pieces are tradable, and so you can sell them on the auction house, and that's one very good way to get the Growling Yell, right? Is to buy pieces from other people who've gotten it. Now, some people will still farm them off of the old Halcyon mobs, but I've not heard if that's actually true anymore, because they kind of shifted which mobs drop them now. Can anybody confirm in the last 6 months that anybody has gotten a Growling Yell piece from these mobs in Halcyona? And there's also a region, I believe, on East as well. And also, in Gwynedd, there's some mobs in this area that can drop them too, from what I understand, but I don't know. They've been shifting all these drop rates all over the place, and I don't know anymore what's real or not. I know that the Yetis used to drop them in Rookborn Basin. Oh, Fox is heading out. I know the Yetis used to drop them in Rookborn Basin, in this area, in Rookborn, but they don't anymore for sure, because I've killed tens of thousands of them and have not gotten anything during, like, double loot drop, or, you know, double loot drop rate with everything popped, and they don't drop them. The Yetis definitely don't have them, for sure. You can confirm you've gotten 2 Growling Yell drops from just the mobs in the purified... Oh, just the mobs in the purified castle zones? Are you serious? Really? That's the first time I've ever heard that. Look at that. Learn something new every day. Play this game for 6 years, you still learn something new every day. Man. Super low chance. Oh, I can imagine it's abysmally low. Let me take a look very quickly. I wonder if that's even on the codex. Let me take a look. What's the ant called? Calmlands Worker Ant, right? I don't remember. That's because it's not Calmlands. It's Markala. Markala Worker. I don't remember what it is. Could you guys give me an example? I want to look that up in the codex. Markala is the ants. Yeah, I don't remember what the name of the ant is. The soldier ant or something? So, ant. I'll just search. Oh, okay. That's just Markala ant. Okay. So the ant... Yeah, it's not actually... Yeah, it's not even here. It's not listed. Let's see. Also, loot drop mostly affects grade. which means full loot buffing while trying to farm them is not the play. Oh, you're heading out. Alright. Let's go on to Rookborn. Interesting. I have never heard of that before. Grats Gidry on the polka dance. If you guys have not seen what the polka dance looks like, it's this. I'll just show it off while we're just answering questions anyways. I'm not doing the most interesting stream stuff, I'm sorry guys. Sometimes I do arenas. Yesterday we did arenas for like 2 hours. Today I just want to answer questions because I'm actually going to be done here in a little bit. And also I just noticed that it's reset, so... Oh, crap! Gotta go to 2 Crowns. We gotta go do the freaking event. The Halloween event. Yeah, candy toss time. That's right, Mercy. Oh, God. I probably already missed it, man. That stuff starts, like, instantly. And at reset, like, everybody's there. Okay, come on. Load time. Quick. But anyways, yeah, it didn't look like on the codex it said, that the ants at least dropped the growling yell fragments. Maybe the codex doesn't have that stuff. Oh. Alright, whatever, I don't care. Just go. You guys are still there? Okay, good. Alright. I don't want it to be already over by the time I get there. One time I actually literally was oh god, it is actually almost done. Wait, how? That couldn't have been right? No way. It is. We're good. What am I... Oh, and I got moonswept too. Amazing. Let's go. Oh my god, just in time. Jeez. Can we get the permanent snail this year? I haven't heard of anything about that. So, I don't know the answer to that, Nonson. I hope so, because everybody wants the snail for the achievement, right? There's an achievement to get, like... You need the snail, actually. Oh god, I can't move. Okay. There we go. We did our thing. Alright. Oh, jeez. Look at this mess of people. Alright, cool. I'm closing these windows that I had up. Any other questions you guys have about Archeage things? While we're just chilling anyways, answering questions about stuff. Mechanics things, theory crafting. I was gonna show off the polka dance, I guess I'll do that. You're over here somewhere, Paycheck? I don't know what your character is in game. Here's the polka dance. Where are those people going? Oh, that's right. It's like dailies and stuff. Oh, Paycheck. Oh, literally still Paycheck in game. Hello. What server is this? This is Win server. Let me unlock all these dailies. Okay, we're good. How do we get unknown pieces? Same thing. Same thing. You get them from the Vairavas, or you get them from some mobs, apparently. From the sound of it. So that's the same. Oh, I'm sorry. God. I thought in my head I'm like I thought sieged. I thought fire sieged, singed vehicle. My bad. Sorry, Anowin pieces are purely from Luskas, yeah. Or you have to kill the Leviathan. The Leviathan death will just give a design blueprint for an Anowin. Man, I screwed that one up immediately. Thanks for catching that, Arya. In my head, I'm thinking other things. I'm thinking what I want to think, I guess. So yeah, this is the polka dance. It doesn't have any, like, if you try to jump or something, it'll break the animation. Or, like, if you move around, it'll break the animation. It's not like the original dances where you can, like, jump around and do stuff and it'll do other different kinds of animations. Here's the moonwalk if you guys haven't seen that. Yeah, Levy drops stuff too, boxes on the floor. Yeah, there's a bunch of things that Levy drops as well. Oh, you're in your farmer gear, you're in your Dawn's drop stuff. I got you. Yeah, what other questions do we have? What other things? You had a whole list of questions, Nonson. You're here. You made it to the stream finally. Which, by the way, if you ever have questions, we have a Discord. We have the Archeage Research and Development Discord that I host. We actually have a really good community of folks that are, you know, totally willing to help answer questions positively and such. So, you know, feel free to ask stuff there. You can ask things on, you know, in comments on a YouTube video. If there's a YouTube video with stuff that's going on, that's all in, just check below in the Twitch stream. All of that information should be there in the description for the different social media links. I can also have a button for it. There. That's all there. So anyways, my point is that ask questions, definitely. And if you're asking questions in a YouTube video, you can link the time as well if it's necessary for some kind of a question. You can link the time in your comments, and that I can already see you know, where you were in the video when you had that question. So if you ever need to ask about something specific, you can. Yeah, what else? What other questions you guys have? What other mechanics you guys want to learn about or whatever? Have you guys all seen the videos that I've put out about, like, mechanics and, like, the secret mechanics in Archeage and all those? If you haven't, I do recommend checking that out. It is a 3-hour-long stream where we just talk about mechanics and secret stuff in Archeage. And I actually went through and I put timestamps for every single type of conversation. And apparently outside there's a car. But yeah, so anyways, my point is that there's timestamps, so you can actually, you know, go to specific moments if you need to. If you have a question about something, you go to the video and you can click on it and you can just watch that one part or whatever. It's a very, very useful stream. I still missed one thing in there. I forgot. There's like a million things I want to talk about, and I missed one or like 12 things. But I put it all in the description with, you know, different stuff, and go read it. It's a very, very useful video. Like, I don't get anything from my YouTube page or from Twitch because I don't care, right? I do this purely for the enjoyment of the Archeage players, and that was a big one. That was a really massive compilation of stuff. And yeah, like, a lot of people didn't know about height damage. A lot of people don't know about so many mechanics. And honestly, height damage we didn't learn about for 7 years. Freaking, when we put out the Reddit post, Korea went nuts. Korea's like, the Korean players were literally linking it, saying, how the hell have we played this game for 7 years and never knew about height damage? And yet, there it is. Literally just the most... Nobody realized that was a thing. Like, it's just... There were some people that have learned it over time, absolutely, but they never really put it out into public. So the actual amount of people who knew about height damage was probably maybe less than 2% of the player base. I'd honestly say even less than that. And so, yeah, there's a lot of secrets in this game. Don't forget the new week started for the Arc Pass. Oh, true. Good point, yeah. Thanks for saying that, Paycheck. New Arc Pass week started. Go, Alright. Let's go do Arc Pass stuff. We're not going to talk about the Arc Pass. We're not going to mention the fact that a lot of players are unhappy about it. And there are players that are happy about it, by the way. And that's okay. Personally, if I were to design a game, I wouldn't put something out there that might, I don't know, make half the community go nuts and be unhappy. I try to do some... Oh, crap, I'm mentioning it. Oh, crap. Shit. Alright, I'll stop. We've talked enough about it, alright? You should arrange more research groups. You guys got good results? Absolutely, I wish I could. You know, the PTS is up right now. We could actually do a big old mass testing initiative with like 100 people. You know how useful getting 100 people together just for testing is? You literally learn the inside out everything of the game. But you know what? I'm also a little bit lazy right now, and I don't want to do that. I'm gonna be blunt. I don't want to do that this week. Alright, I'm tired. We got stuff going on. You know, it's not easy to do that. It's not easy to get a lot of people together. But you're right, it is an extremely useful thing. So get your guilds to do it. Put your research out on Reddit. Increase the enjoyment of everybody in the game. You could be known for the research that you do. I don't care about being known for any of this stuff. And in a year, you guys are going to forget about me. And that's perfectly fine. Because as long as you guys have enjoyed Archeage for the time that you're playing it, I'm happy. That's all that I care about. But you can make some notoriety for your guild if you go and discover something amazing, right? You may as well do that, right? Put it out there. Let people know about it. Other people can push it, just people don't really do that, you know? I trust me. I'm just some guy. It might not feel that way because I'm streaming and I'm talking to an audience of people, but I really am just some dude. And I will continue to feel that way all the time. I understand that because following me to push me around, that's fine. No problem with that. But anyways, my point is that anybody can actually do it. You just, you know, there's effort that needs to be put in. Absolutely. Get a couple guilds together, right? Work with folks. Try to set up a time. Do some stuff. Mess around. Try things out. Go nuts, you know? Break the game. That's what I did once. We had 20 people for one of these sessions, and we tried to make everybody use Boneyard on the same person at the exact same time. What do you guys think happened? I'm actually curious, because I had so many thoughts about this. But we did this, and we did it on stream. It's all documented somewhere. We had 20 people use Boneyard on one person. And we also did a lot of harpoon testing as well. 20 people using Boneyard on one person. Okay? What ended up happening was all of the Boneyards would not stack on top of each other properly. So what ended up happening is the Boneyards actually went up into the sky and would start to like pile up here, even though the person was just down here. So then we had them fly in the air, and I wanted to see if they were flying on like on a glider and everybody used Boneyard at the same time, what would happen, right? And so the same thing happened, right? It just made a whole bunch of Boneyards appear all over the place. It's really cool. It's an interesting thing, but you never know that it would happen until you try it. All right, what are we spamming about, Arya? Do we actually beat Koreans to the punch with height damage? Yes. I don't know if I'm famous in Korea. I don't really care. But I love the Koreans, man. They're awesome. I have no idea. Do we have any guidelines on what to focus on researching? Nope. Do whatever you want. I have no idea. It's just like the game is cool. There's a lot of stuff. Go mess around, you know? That's how I always do stuff. Alright, Arya started on harpoons. For the last 2 years, about the harpoon clippers. Harpoon clipper harpoons. Being basic grade and on a... Oh, yeah. That's true. The one you can't actually remove? Yeah, it sucks. I know. It sucks. I can't believe they haven't done anything about it either, to be honest. That's why nobody uses that one, right? Because it's like... What's the point? Oh, I gotta do all the other daily. Oh, God. I just want to do the Halloween dailies. I'm not gonna do any of this. Wait. Oh, Arc Pass. Right. Arc Pass. Okay. Arc Pass. So I do need to do this. I know, seriously. Just make it removable. That's the obvious solution that was just not happening. I don't know why. I have no idea. It's weird. What's going on? Crap, I hope I didn't bite that for too much. That's okay. It was only 23 silver anyways. Oh, nice. I got my specialty... See, I actually ran some stuff from Aaron Rock today just because I was bored and I wanted to drive my car around a little bit. It's totally not worth it. But, whatever. I just want to drive my car around. What do you want? Alright? Sometimes I do it. I really don't do any kind of trade runs, though, generally. Alright, so that one's done. What's next? Another blue salt bonds. Alright, let's go do some. What do we got? 2 crowns? Alright, let's go epic. Get your Arc Pass stuff done. Oh, are we going to talk about... We're not going to talk about how they break when you grab something? Yeah, so, like, yeah, if... I don't remember what you guys said about this. Epic, that was all research, actually, that Kairos and Azin wanted to put out, so I kind of left it to them. I didn't want to step over them putting out research about these things, so I'm going to totally let them do it, you know? That's not research I discovered. It's not something I retested myself. It's on them. Let them put out their information about, you know, whatever they find. Get the best props and just drag the shit out. Oh, we actually took a car across the ocean on a harpoon once. We harpooned a car across the ocean. We actually did that on stream. It's part of one of those, like, testing sessions we did a long, long time ago as a part of Archeage research and development episodes. And they are, they're all on YouTube somewhere under, like, the one playlist with all the stuff on it. With, like, research and highlights and stuff. We did it. Yeah, we took a car across the ocean on a harpoon. Actually happened. I don't know if that's what you're referencing or not, but yeah. Ozona's on strike, yep. There you go. You refused to open it, that's fair. You're not going to buy the premium, you're just doing the... Well, I mean, I still want my diligence, so I'm doing the regular basic rewards, right? Doing those at least. I want to see what happens next month. I actually have an extra pass I haven't used. I have the premium Arc Pass, like, ticket. But I don't even care. Like, I'm not going to use it on this. I'm not going to support it until I see what next month is, and then we'll see. Like, I don't care, dude. It's not... I don't like what they did there. But we're not going to talk about it, because apparently we're talking about it again. We're not going to talk about it. We're all on the same page, all right? It's like talking about the weather. It's useless. We got other things we can do instead. Use labor. No problem. I have a tempering thing I need to use the labor on, so we're all set. What do I want to temper? Just to get out of the way here. Just want to do the arc pass super quick. Nothing. I don't want to temper any of these. They're expensive. Let's do 19, 18. Let's do this one. 200 labor. Okay. Wait. Actually, yeah, I need to use labor, so this is fine. Just get this out of the way. Oh, I got it to 19. Okay, good. So, that... Oh, obtain XP. Easy. It's so easy to do. And I actually have coin purses already. Did they add pay to win to Archeage Unchained? Yes. Isn't it fun? Oh, man. Oh, nice. Same one. Yeah, they did. And everybody's yelling, and we're going to talk about weather instead, because, yes, it is a more constructive conversation, and I don't want to go into it. Because we've talked about it for, like, the last frickin' week, and it's all we've been talking about, and that's it. And I don't want to talk about it anymore, alright? I just want to relax and play a video game. Alright? Can you blame me? Oh, man. Okay, doing my arc pass shit. We're gonna do this quickly so that I don't have to think about it anymore. Let's do the blue cell bomb quest right now, actually. Because we're making another labor one afterwards. Let's go to Cinder. Cinder Stone. What did they add? What are you inviting me to a party for? What did they add? So they added, they essentially made a bunch of progression items on the Arc Pass Premium. So now you can pay Premium and get a bunch of progression items. Extra Diligence, extra Labor, potions that give you extra loot pots or extra honor. You know, those buffs, those things, the really good ones, actually, the best ones that we've got. You know, like this, even the Power Stone pet that gives 10% more gold drop rate and 10% more loot drop rate, even that can be said to be, like, technically progression items, right? There's Serendipity Stones on here, there's Resplendent Tempering Charms on here, there's Incorrect Luna Charms on here. Hilariously, there's a multi-wagon upgrade ticket. Cynthium Soap. There's this thing, the Traveler's Blessing. So it's a lot of stuff that just shouldn't be there. I don't stomach this stuff, but listen, you know, from my perspective, honestly, Arya, I do sympathize very much with the community. And I know that people don't want these... Oh, God, I know people don't want these things, right? Like, you could have not done them, and people would be pretty happy. And that's kind of the big deal, you know? But that's the thing, is that... So they promised that none of that would ever happen. So I think that the bigger problem is that they just ruined everybody's trust. That's all. Yeah, people are complaining, right? But it's more that we can't really trust Gamigo to not suddenly put in anything. To not suddenly take away our premium, our patron on Archeage Unchained. It's unfathomable to think about, but it's unfathomable to think about this stuff too. And it happened. We can't really trust them anymore. That's the problem. The main problem is we've lost trust. And I think people are forgetting that part. Yeah, you can allow them to do this stuff, but it's just going to get worse and worse unless you start doing something about it. That's the main issue. They went back on their word, you know. People said the same about the DLC. I get the DLC. I totally understand it. You know, I get it. It's a different marketing thing. It makes sense for Archeage Unchained. They still went, you know, people were still mad about that, not because of the cost or anything, but because they went back on their word, right? I get it. I totally understand the complaints. Absolutely. Absolutely. You might be okay with it too. I'm okay with it. Like, I really don't care, to be honest, about this stuff. I don't agree with it because I sympathize with the community of people who essentially got lied to, myself included, and I don't like that. So for you guys, I'm mad. You know? Does that make sense? I think we can agree with that anyways. You can maybe defend it if it wasn't for the diligence labor. That's just way over the line. Yeah. I mean, it is. And some people... Listen, some people like it. Some people like this Arc Pass. And that's okay. It's okay. It's okay to like it just just because other people don't doesn't mean anything. It's okay to like it. It's fine. Okay? The main problem is a lot of the community doesn't. And they kind of split the community because of it. That's the problem, you know? Yeah, I know, yeah. That's essentially what we all said, Arya. And I worked very much with, like, Tryon CMs and stuff to push really good things to the player base, and it worked, honestly. I worked very positively with Tryon. And the problem was slowness, right? It's very slow to get suggestions through. It's very slow to get anything to happen. We need to go to Air and Rock, right? I think it's Air and Rock. Air, Rain, Rock. Yes, for the 20 iron ingots. I think when we got Game Ago, everybody knew, though, that Game Ago is the company where games go to die. Like, we all said this. Before the Game Ago acquisition, or merge, I don't know. I think it was an acquisition, right? Technically. We all said Game Ago is the place where games go to die. We already knew it. We already knew this was going to happen. We knew that we already didn't have trust for them. But then they said, oh, we're going to do Unchained. And everybody was like, oh, okay, that's definitely how you gain trust. That's definitely something you could say to pique our interest. It's pretty good. But that's ruined. I mean, it took a year, but, you know. It's the trust that's the problem. And trust is very, very important. I think a lot of companies just forget about that in their efforts to get stockholders to give them money. Crap. I already did one of my vocation badges. Let me go over to do the other ones, though. Yeah. Mushroom House. It is it's very ironic it's an anniversary thing. People said Arc Pass took too long. I think it's straight up lie. It is a lie. We already proved that it's a lie. Because of the way that the new Arc Pass works and the way that they want to do it every month, this is a lie, actually. It's absolutely. They just said it because they needed to say it. It comes from no merit ever, anywhere, at all. But they've already lied about some other... What? You're in my doorway. Get out of there. So, you know, it's typical stuff. What did I come here for? Oh, right. Vocation. Get these vocation things done. I screwed up. I already did one of the vocation dailies. And that's my bad. I shouldn't have done that. Okay, let me get rid of this. So I'm not going to do this quest right now. Hollowtide Origins. I got to do the Hollowtide dailies too. I want to, because I want to get the pipe organ. I had one on Legacy, and I'm going to have one here soon. Make meals, easy vocation. Yeah, I try to stay away from those if I don't have to. I know. I just don't want to have to buy all the materials for it. I get really lazy. Sorry. It's like, I just don't want to do it. But yes, I could. I know. Oh, I got another one. Nice. Amazing. Nice. Okay, now I get to use labor again. Look at this. I'm already at 9 out of 12. So easy. Where's my... Oh, there. You have all the materials? Yeah, I'd never stocked up on them, and I just don't... I don't know. I don't want to deal with it. Plus, actually, it's a bit of labor, isn't it? Is it like a... Is it 150 labor or something? Or no, it's 50 labor. Oh, I don't know. I'm going to look it up. Meal... Meal... No, it's 40 labor. That's not too bad. Yeah, I guess that's fine. Although, technically, I'm running low on labor rechargers, and who knows when I'm going to get them again, so... And, you know, people aren't even pointing out the fact that, yeah, we're going to get diligence today, right now. Okay, but we're not going to get diligence again for 3 more weeks. Because the next time we get diligence is tier 17. And you could do the math. It's going to be the 3rd week out from this week, you're going to get more diligence. But until then, nothing. Other than the regular, you know, daily... Or the weeklies, you know, the stuff you earn from the actual quests themselves. Oh, you are pointing it out? Good, because I haven't seen as much yelling about that. The future sight of how the actual thing is going to go. So good. I'm glad people are pissed about that too, because you gotta point out. They know this though. There's 250 people complaining about it on the forums in the last like 3 days. They know it's bad. I want them to just say, hey, sorry guys, I apologize. The company apologizes. We didn't want to go this route. I want them to give everybody a premium ticket. I want them to refund everybody who used one and say, listen guys, we're sorry about this. We're going to change the direction back. That's what I want them to do. I want them to try to restore faith with the company, or with the company. I want them to restore faith with the actual people. I know I'm mentioning it, but we were talking about it anyways. I think it's fine. It's an important conversation at this point. It's an important conversation to have. We'll do it occasionally. Yeah, I want world peace too. It's just not going to happen. It's a good point. I know. It's not going to happen. They're not going to apologize for this stuff. But we'll see what ends up happening, yeah. We'll see what they end up actually doing. Yeah, exactly. If you pay, it's still terrible, right? So, yeah, it's weird. What a weird thing is that's going on right now. Alright, I got my diligence. Oh, man. Alright, I'll get labor later without even thinking about it, so I'm not going to do it right now. I'll just get some honor out of this. Actually, I really want vocation, because I'm, like, super close to getting that soul mule. I'm just going to do vocation. I don't need that much more honor anymore anyways, and I really want to speedrun getting a soul mule, so I'm going to make the active choice to do something very stupid, which is... Usually, you wouldn't get vocation, I don't think, out of that, but I did, alright? That's my choice. None of you guys can judge me, because I did it, because I wanted to. Also, I don't need this. No! There. It's gone now. Alright, let's open these up. Yeah, they'll gladly buy whatever rugs they can to sweep this underneath. I don't know, man. Grinding honor's easy? Yeah. I guess. Always take vocation? Really? Yeah, but I need so much of it. That's the problem. I need like a bajillion. That's probably a number somewhere. I need exactly 1 bajillion honor. Because I have everything as honor gems. Every single gem is an honor gem. So, yeah. Yeah, it's a bit much. I need everything. To me, I don't need vocation. I just want vocation for like one thing. A soul mule and maybe a carrot wings. Or carrot. Yeah, carrot wings. But I don't use vocation for anything else, personally. Yeah, I don't do farm stuff. I don't do trade runs. I don't do farm stuff. It doesn't make like I don't. That's a personal choice, right? I don't do that stuff. That's all. I'll just hold on to these right now. I don't need to open up those pouches. Something. Oh yeah, my ult does vocation definitely, all the time. And yeah, my main generally gets honor. I do the exact same thing. Oh, it's like 200k per item, is it really? Wow. I guess I never did the math for it. Because I don't want to think about it, and I'm not going to right now. I don't want to think about how much honor you need to get everything, it's too much. Any other questions you guys have about Archeage stuff? Archeage related things, mechanics, theory crafting... If you want to learn more about different gameplay aspects or whatever, if you are a new or returning player and you want to learn about something or you have a question about something, this is a really good place to ask all of your nice questions, alright? In a nice, calm environment where we're just chilling, listening to Archeage music in the background, as we smile and just accept that the Arc Pass is what it is, and continue complaining everywhere else, right? Here on stream, we're just chilling, alright? We're here to answer questions and hang out with you fine folks. Only honor you still need is a few serendipities. Tier 2 cloak and a halcyon. Yeah, I do need some more honor for one more thing. I think, yeah, this thing. I need to change received healing over to health, actually. And I need to change parry rate here to health, too. I just realized that. Damn. How do you get your gold if you're not running packs? So I actually have a video on gold, like earning gold and stuff. I usually just use the AH. I buy low and I sell high. I played the game for 6 years. It's a super risky thing to do, but I like that. So I generally do that. Lately I've been super lazy, and I have not been doing that. And all that I've been doing is just farming coin purses and using them, and I'm fine with that. Like, I haven't really been... I don't need gold right now. I'm not trying to stockpile gold, because I kind of have the gear where I want it to be. It's extremely value efficient where it is right now. I'm not super worried about upgrading stuff at the moment. Yeah, I'll get my costume and my underwear up to Eternal at some point. That's probably the next thing on my agenda. But before I get anything else up to Eternal, you know, this is the stuff that I'm looking at first. And I'm not trying to rush it, because I'm already at endgame. I can compete with anybody that I need to kill. I can do everything that I need to do just fine. Do you have any secondary weapon choices when maining archery? Secondary weapon choices. So what do you mean by that, Raveray? Because to me, secondary weapon choices is weapon swap. And I actually finally found a good use for my weapon swap. So the actual weapon swap button you can bind and like store 2 items there. I have a shield that's tier 2 library that's full of max health. And my main there is a Searing Oath. So what happens is... Oh, so here's an idea then for you. What happens is when I'm expecting to take a bunch of massive burst damage in either PvP or PvE, I'll switch over to this, right? And because of that, I have a much bigger health pool during that time. I take a lot less damage, especially a lot less damage from physical. I can block some stuff. And I accept the damage, you know? I'm okay with that. I'll take the damage, right? And then I'll turn around, switch weapons back, and start attacking people. This is the person... Actually, I only started doing this like a month ago. Up until then, I couldn't really find a good use for it, honestly. I just couldn't figure out a way to make it work for me. This has been so cool. I really like this weapon swap. It's so nice. It's like, ugh, gosh. It feels really good. And of course I swapped to it to use the ability, right? To use the Disciple's shield ability. You know, to pull people together. It works out really, really well. Yours is a dual wield versus your staff build. That makes sense, definitely. Because you, depending on the situation, you'd be switching pretty often, right? Congrats on your newbie's favor there, slightly sleepy. Yeah, got a hotkey for shield. Just need a 3rd setup. I mean, all of my hotkeys are here, right? Like, all of my weapon swaps are really just down here. They're all alt combos. So, like, you know, the library staff is Alt-C. I'll switch to it, I'll use it, and I'll switch right back by pushing Alt-3 and Alt-4 to switch back to my main weapons. You know, I have the Honor Nodachi there, I have the Missong Nodachi there, I have the Monstrous Desire, I have the Serp Dagger. They're all on here generally, but the only thing that I will use the actual swap here for is for the 2nd set, just to, you know, take in a bunch of burst damage and then swap back to my regular equipment. Everything else is just through regular hotkeys that I should be using more often. Honestly, I admit I don't do this as much as I should. I've always had that issue, ever since like 2015, 2014. I always wanted to get really good at weapon swapping and using it at proper timings. And I just don't. Like, it doesn't, like, I always want to try to get myself to do it. I just don't, right? I really should. I should always go into combat with the Serp Dagger off, and I just don't do it. Like, I just always forget. And it's a thing, right? It's okay. I'll get better at it over time if I really try, but, you know, something that I haven't always been able to do. Disciple Staff I use all the time. I freaking love the Disciple Staff. It's so much fun. Such a fun thing. It's hard not to want to do this one, but like some of these other ones, like the buff from Missong Nodachi or the buff from the Serp Dagger, it just like slips my mind so much. And I want to get better at that. And that's a personal little progression goal of mine, you know? It's annoying when you're farming in Garden and some big mobs show up with some gear score? What? So you need to swap to your dual wield weapons with defense penetration? Some big mobs show up with some gear score. What does GS mean? Yeah, that's a good one too. I really like that one. Oh, mine's on cooldown. The Library Great Club is fun. Any chance you could watch this Japanese Archeage guy and explain how he did it? He stays in the air too much. Sure. Let me take a look. I gotta mute this really quick. Ah, okay. Whew. Oh, he's a melee. Oh, I know exactly what he's doing. Epic, can you be my test subject really quick? Please? I just need to stand over there. Alright, let me pay attention, actually, for just a minute. So this is something that you can do in-game, okay, as a melee. Are you guys ready? Yeah, run. Wait, we're not in a duel. Okay, there we go. Okay, you ready? What am I doing? Oh, yeah. right? And so my point is, I can throw him up in the air and then do some really crazy Kamehameha, Super Saiyan, you know, throw in my face all over the place. I don't know what I'm saying. These are just words coming out of my mouth. But my point is that you can do some crazy, weird shit. It's a Dragon Ball fight. Yeah, that's the reference I was clearly going for and had no idea what I was doing. So what I did, right? Breakdown. This is the enhanced, well, it's the Eagle Glider. The Eagle Glider has the ability of Dive Attack. What Dive Attack does is it disables the opponent for like a pretty good amount of time and throws them up into the air like a bubble. Now this can be broken, I think, by Defiance, but let's pretend that the person doesn't have Defiance or their name is Epic and they're just here to help me test something, right? So what ends up happening is they go up in the air and as a melee you just keep using gap closers over and over and over again, which ends up making it into a Dragon Ball fight. Oh, you can't Defiance out of it? Cool. I think you can Defiance out of the when you're falling, right? When you're falling you can like backdrop or something. But yes, it is an extremely powerful ability. This Eagle Glider is crazy. It can be earned through the Diligence store, so anybody has access to this. Epic gave me a sad face. I don't remember why, because I think I mentioned him in conversation and then forgot what I talked about. You can Disjoint the Eagle, though. Sloth, backdrop, and stuff. Yes, absolutely. So as you're falling, you can avoid the fall damage coming back down. But is that what you're referring to, Mizzy? Or can you actually stop it somehow when you're going up? Because if so, I don't know. Because I don't have a drop back in this build. I don't really notice that. Not if you get silenced by Cuspero. True. And in my case, I can actually impale people while I'm up there. The impale is how I do it. You know, at the very top, right when they get there, I try to use Hell Spear if I'm right next to them. Oh, the initial launch, really? Oh, so actually, if the player is backdropping or teleporting right at that moment, you can avoid getting launched up into the air. You want to try that, Epic? That's going to be really hard to time. You're going to have to go by sight. There's nothing I can do to... let's give it a whirl, you know? Let's give it a whirl. I just want to see it. I totally believe you. There's so many things in the game like that, Mizzy. You know, like, frickin' Blade Flurry is able to avoid so many things. Epic, it's going to be on you. Whenever you think you can. I can't really give you any specific timings on this. This is going to be on you. Give it a whirl. Let's see. Let's see if we can make it happen. If not, no big deal. We'll try it again later. All right? You'll see me when I go in the air. You can time it generally based on that, right? I think that's as good as we can get here. You're going to have to big gamer this one. You're going to have to be a gamer boy. All right, here we go. Damn. That's okay. That's not an easy thing to do. Obviously, usually you're not already drop backing, so it's a tough thing to make happen. We'll try it again in a little bit, alright? It's no big deal. What's the cooldown on it? I think it's a minute. Yeah, it's a minute. Am I supposed to be in the air when you hit me? So you want to drop back? Yeah, exactly. You want to be in a drop back right as it hits you. Something like that. If I were using Blade Flurry, I would want you to use it on me right at this teleport. That would be the time when I would be able to avoid some mechanics of things, right? And in your case, I think it's right at the moment you already want to be drop backing. Or just as it happens, you want to be drop backing. It'll reset your positioning with physics and should stop that from happening. You should still be disabled, actually, and I think, Mizzy, you might be able to confirm. You won't go in the air, but you should still be disabled for that time. If not, that's crazy. But the way that I understand mechanics, it should still disable you. But alright, I'll let Mizzy answer that one. But does that give you some information on Sun that you were looking for about how that stuff works? How you can have a crazy Dragon Ball fight in the air? There's ways to do it, right? It's not the only one, right? There's other ways you can, like, fight people in the air like that. And it's funny, especially when two melees are fighting each other like that. Dreambreaker is the king tanks? Yes. Dreambreaker is really good. I wish more people played those kind of like initiation classes. Witchcraft is so much fun. So I was just like looking through conversations or things that I missed. Alright, you want to try it again, Epic? Alright, I'm gonna guess that means yes. So here we go. Aw, that was perfect though, right? I saw it on my screen. That looked really good. Dang. DB, what's DB? You mean gear score? Was it just like a... Did you mean to type something else? Yeah, I don't play in stun, I play on win. Oh, Dreambreaker! Ah, silly me. Yeah. It's like SK is Skull Knight. Actually, SK also means something else, doesn't it? Not just Skull Knight. It means a different class, too. I don't remember what it is. So I pulled you out in the middle of the air. Okay. So on your screen, that's what happened. On my screen, you know what it looked like? On my screen, you actually did use drop back. I could see the effect happen, but right at the moment, you just went back up into the air. So I didn't see any other movements of your character other than, like, it was just going off. So yeah, no problem, Epic. I know there's a bit of a stream delay. It's all good. Sorrow Song was such a blast to play as well. Sorrow Song. Is that Archery, Songcraft, Witchcraft? No, that's Trickster. What is Sorrow Song? Why am I not catching that? Why am I not instantly knowing what that is? Oh, it's not Archery. That's why. What is it, actually? It's not an Archery build. Oh yeah, let's try it again, sure. I think I just used it. Sorry, I was looking the other way. Yeah, no problem. Oops. Malediction, Aromancy, Songcraft. Is that true? What is that, Frick? Alright, I'm ready. Here we go. Man. A little bit too late. That's okay, though. We'll get it. We'll just try to see if we can make this happen. I do want to go eat, like, food. I have food in front of me, and I want to eat it. So I want to do that soon. I think we're probably going to end the stream here in a little bit. And I want to go and raid somebody else as well. Foxen says, Trickster is Archery, Shadow Play, Witchcraft, not Songcraft. Yeah. Oh, good point, actually. You're right. Fair enough. That wasn't Trickster what I said. My bad. Thanks for pointing that out. Let me... So I might have been right, actually. Archery, Songcraft, Witchcraft. That's Hex Ranger. Nah, that's not it. Alright, Malediction, Aromancy. I already had... Okay. Songcraft. No, that's Instigator. you have to give us the answer, Frick, of which Sorrow Song is. I've already forgotten. Oh, sorry. Self-purge from Witchcraft is so godly. Absolutely, man. Witchcraft in general is so good. I really want more people to start playing with it. Absolutely wonderful. Like, it's just so useful. We need so many more people to Witchcraft in combat. Honestly. You just don't see it enough. Alright. I've hit my 3-hour mark. I said that today was going to be a little bit of a shorter of a stream. So I think I'm going to be done for today. Let me go raid somebody, though. So stick around, because you could still get all of your drops and everything. And I want to raid somebody with 100, which is nice. I've only been able to do that once. So let's see. Who do you guys want me to raid? Hopefully a positive Archeage streamer, please. Looking for somebody who's just helping out the audiences and such. I can raid Cybot again, because he's a good friend of mine. So I'm ready for that. Yeah, I'm going to do it. Let's give him some attention. Go give some love to Cybot. Oh, Occultism, Songcraft, Vitalism. Ah, okay, yeah. That works pretty well, too. The Songcraft, obviously, you're keeping yourself alive and still being able to bard people, so that's nice. Okay, I'm done. Guys, I need to, like, totally cut it off, because, like, I want to go do other stuff, too. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate the host as well from Tiny Toxin. And I will see you guys probably next weekend. Again, go check out all of my links for different social media things. There you go. Whoa, that didn't work, did it? There we go. This entire stream, by the way, will be up on YouTube. The whole stream. I put all the streams up on YouTube in full. So if there's a question that we answered or you want to see something again, we can always, you can always go back up to YouTube and check it out afterwards. So make sure to if there's something you wanted to go look at it again, you can go and subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm done. Thanks, everybody. You guys are awesome. And I'll see you all probably next weekend. Thanks. Bye. Good day, everybody. Wait, stick around, because we're going to be raiding. So stick around for the raid. And say hi to Cybot for me.
Game Pro. Game Pro with the fat raid. 107, dude. Oh, what's up, Paycheck? Oh, give me just a second. My dog's choking on his tennis ball.